Hello and welcome to Jim Patterson Stadium for the first game of this Louisville Regional. We're in the NCAA tournament for baseball. It's going to be the Michigan Wolverines against the Bradley Braves. It's Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki on the call. We just made the trip down from Ann Arbor earlier this morning. We are excited to bring you game one of this regional. The 2 versus 3 seed, the number 2 and home side will be the Bradley Braves, and the visitors per se will be the Michigan Wolverines here today, the number 3 seed. Dalton, what are you looking for in this matchup?
In this matchup, I'm really looking for the Michigan Bats to continue their hot streak from the Big Ten tournament that they had in Minneapolis, and some good pitching today out of the bullpen for the Michigan Wolverines.
And you mentioned the pitching, an interesting move here by Coach Bakich. They opt to give number 1 starter Brett Adcock an extra day of rest. They're going with Matt Ogden today, which really came out of nowhere. We expected at least one of the 3 weekend starters, that being Adcock, Newdoff, and Hill, and one of those 3 to get the start. But Ogden looks relatively sharp in recent appearances. He had a shutdown performance against Maryland and really held on to that game in late innings for the Wolverines in that Big Ten title game. So he gets the call from Coach Bakich. Why do you think he got the start here today?
Well, I think Coach Bakich is going to try and ride out a hot pitcher, and I really actually like the move because being a double elimination regional, you're guaranteed games after today. So if you lose today, then you have to pitch your best pitcher from now on. But if you pick up a win with Ogden on the mound, now you're sitting well with your 3 best guys just ready to roll. So I like the move from Coach Bakich.
And Ogden, as we mentioned, he struggled in the middle of the season. He had a rough start. The last time he took the starting rubber for the Wolverines, that was against Central Michigan in May 6th. Really got roughed up there up in Mount Pleasant, but since bounced back, had a solid performance against Eastern Michigan. He came into a game that was already out of hand against Oklahoma State on mop-up duty and shut down a very good Oklahoma State Cowboys team that is playing elsewhere in the NCAA tournament, and then had 2 good performances in the Big Ten tournament, that being against Iowa and then Maryland. 1 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. But the Wolverines will be first to bat here. We'll get you the lineup here. At second base, leading off is Jacob Cronenworth. In the 2-hole, the freshman shortstop Jake Bivens. Batting third, the center fielder Jackson Glines. In the cleanup spot is the first baseman Carmen Benedetti. In the 5th spot is the DH Cody Bruder. Batting 6th is the third baseman Travis Mazes. In the number 7 hole, the left fielder Kevin White, followed up in the number 8 hole by the right fielder Johnny Slater. And number 9, the catcher Kendall Patrick, as we mentioned, Matt Ogden starting on the mound. And starting on the mound for the Bradley Braves will be Elliot Ashbeck. He is their number 1 starter, so they're going with a more conventional approach here and putting their best starter out, trying to pick up a win here and then likely advance to face Louisville in the winner's side of the bracket. So they're going all out here. And what do you make of the move from the Bradley Braves to throw out Ashbeck? He's one of the best 2-way players in the country. Just made the finalist for the John Olerud 2-way Player of the Year award that was just announced last night. The finalist, Carmen Benedetti, had been a semifinalist and didn't make the cut there, but Ashbeck has gotten it done on the mound and also as a DH here, so we could see him pick up a bat as well. What do you make of the move to go with your number 1 starter here?
There's no way you can fault a coach for trying to go out there and get a win with your number 1 starter. I like the mentality of Bradley here, and I think you can't go wrong going with your number 1 guy trying to pick up an early win in an NCAA regional.
Yeah, not a bad move. We saw Ashbeck twice in the conference tournament for the Braves. He got the win in dazzling performance against Evansville, pitched 8 innings, gave up 2 runs, both of those earned, 6 strikeouts against 2 walks. And also pitched in the championship game against Missouri State, got the start, didn't do quite as well, gave up a run that was unearned on only 2 hits, got 3 strikeouts, and did not factor into the decision. The Braves ended up falling in that game 5-2, but they're still able to get an at-large berth to this NCAA tournament, and they really took care of business in the non-conference season. They ran into their struggles in the conference season. What really stands out to you about these Braves team and some of the competition they faced?
Well, some of the competition they face, they have one of the top 20 toughest schedules in RPI this year. And if you look at the schedule, they pick up some quality wins, both home and on the road against Iowa, winning those 5-2 at Iowa and 5-4 at home. And then they lost some tough games to close out the season against number 10 Missouri State, but we know this Missouri State team. They're not a joke this year, so there's nothing wrong with losing to them.
Yeah, Missouri State got that last. There was some debate of whether they would sneak in there, and they did grab that last super regional spot, so they're the number 8 overall national seed. And really no favors from the Missouri Valley Conference schedule makers, having to travel both to Dallas Baptist and Missouri State. So those are the other 2 top teams in the league, and they were only able to take one of those 6 games. They were able to get the finale at Dallas Baptist, but just not dealt the best hands, but able to make it work. And here they are as the number 2 seed. They're going to face off with the Michigan Wolverines. Elliott Ashbeck is about to take the mound. First up for the Wolverines will be Jacob Cronenworth, followed by Jake Bivens and Jackson Glines. The Braves have taken the field. They're getting their final warm-up tosses in here. We'll go through their lineup. Leading off, the second baseman, Chris Godinez. In the 2-hole, the center fielder, Isaac Smith. The number 3 spot, the third baseman, Spencer Gay. Batting 4th, the first baseman, Paul Solka. Batting 5th is the catcher, Drew Carlisle. The number 6 hole is the DH, Ian Christian. The shortstop follows after that, Tyler Leffler, followed by the left fielder, Evan Gruner. And then the 9 hole is Carson Weber. And as we mentioned, Elliott Ashbeck will be on the mound. What can the Wolverines do to get some early runs, get some confidence against Elliott Ashbeck? He has solid numbers on the year, and we mentioned he is the Braves' ace. What can the Wolverines do in these first couple innings? We've seen them not necessarily be so hot in the opening innings before coming, maybe heating up a little bit after the second time through the order. But is there anything they can do this first time through the order, try and get some early runs on the board?
Well, I mean, they can try to play and scrap a few runs across, but I think Coach Backage is going to let his team try to do what they do best. I mean, they led the Big Ten in hits, doubles, and runs scored and on-base percentage, and was second in the Big Ten with a batting average of a team 297. So I don't think Backage is going to try to fix something that's not broke here.
Indeed, they are playing well. As you mentioned at the top of this broadcast, they really played well in that Big Ten tournament. They needed to win that Big Ten tournament to get in. They got the job done. It was kind of a surprise. They came in as the 3 seed, but they were the 3 seed by virtue of a number of tiebreakers over Maryland and then over some other teams, over Michigan State as well. So they're kind of a fluke number 3 seed, but able to take advantage of their fortunate draw and not even lose a game in the Big Ten tournament. So they're hot. Bradley, not quite as much, and we're just about ready to get underway. The junior from St. Clair, Michigan, will dig in that lefty batter's box. Wait for the first pitch from Ashbeck. Here it comes. Fastball is a strike, low and at the knees on the outside corner. 0-1. Here's the strike one pitch that's popped high in the air to center field. Smith giving chase. That one keeps going, and he will finally settle under it. A step or two in front of the warning track. Cronenworth just popped that one up, but he kept going. I was kind of surprised how far that one went.
Yeah, well, looking at the flags here in Louisville, there's a wind blowing out towards left field, so he must have just got caught up in a jet stream up there, and it continued to carry. So look for righties to have success putting the ball deep today.
And it is a fairly deep ballpark all around, 330 on the lines and 402 to straightaway center. Jake Bivens batting second today, per usual, takes a strike on the inside half. Home plate umpire Danny Mascaro today, assisted by Ken Langford at first, Greg Charles at second, and Darren Hyman. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. That's scooped up by Leffler. He'll fire over to first base and get the speedy Bivens by about 2 steps. So 2 up on 2 down for the Wolverines. They're swinging early. They like the pitches they've got from Ashbeck so far, but unable to do anything. And that will leave it up to Jackson Glines. He'll step into that lefty batter's box. 4 straight lefties to lead out the lineup for the Wolverines. Cronenworth, Bivens, Glines, and Benedetti. Benedetti waiting on deck. Unanimous first team All Big Ten selection this year. Jackson Glines also made that first team All Big Ten, though not a unanimous selection. He'll take a strike, low and at the knees. In limited pitches so far, only 5 pitches from Ashbeck. He's been commanding that lower part of the zone so far. Winds and delivers. Breaking ball. Strike on the inside half.
Glines has got to choke up here and just try and put something in play. Hopefully he can get the big fella up to drive him in.
Quickly 0-2 on Jackson Glines. Fastball misses outside. That draws the catcher Carlisle out of his stance. He'll grab that 1-2. Glines waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Ashbeck winds and delivers. That one's in the dirt. Skipped up to home plate, but a block there by Carlisle. Count even at 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the first. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball.
Glines should be expecting a fastball here after that breaking ball missed badly.
2-2 delivery. Here it comes. That's lifted high in the air to center field. Smith is tracking and going back, and he will make the catch, crashing into the wall. What a play by Smith out in center field. Glines gave that one a ride to the deepest part of the ballpark. Hit that one about 400 feet, but Smith extended for that one. He got a little turned around in center field. He tracked first to his left and then going back to his right, but was able to get it as he crashed into the wall. And 2 deep catches by Smith. Cronenworth and Glines both drove it deep to the outfield, but nothing to show for it as Smith makes a pair of nice catches in the outfield. We had to the bottom of the first inning, no score from Jim Patterson Stadium. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki here. So what do you make of that? That was good contact by Glines, just maybe not a fortunate, just not hitting the right spots.
No, I mean, when you put it in the deepest part of the ballpark, I mean, it was a drive and a half, believe me, but Smith made a heck of a play out there in center. He got a good jump, and like you said, the wind played, he was twisted around out there, but that could have been a product of the wind. It looks like it's picked up a little bit here, but generally nice day here in Louisville. Partly cloudy, about 70 degrees. Can't complain about this.
Yeah, a beautiful athletic facilities here. As we were coming into campus, just an amazing set of facilities here. Just every sport imaginable, soccer, softball, football, just any sport you can think of has the nice facilities decked out here in Louisville. And we mentioned that we're at Jim Patterson Field. Jim Patterson, a former Louisville baseball player, donated $5 million for this complex and also is the founder of Long John Silver's. So there's your interesting fact of the namesake of this stadium, where they will be playing the NCAA Regional in the first round of the NCAA baseball tournament. As we remind you, this is a double elimination format, so loser of this game does not go home. They simply go to the loser's bracket. They'll play at noon tomorrow. Winner will play at 4 tomorrow. So the winner will play the winner of the Louisville-Moorhead State matchup coming up later tonight, and the loser will play the loser of that game. So 2 p.m. here, and then followed up by about a 6 to 6:30 p.m. start for Louisville-Moorhead State. And not many fans in attendance right now, but we expect when the hometown Cardinals come to play, it will definitely fill up. But we head to the bottom of the first inning here in Louisville. Leading it off for the Braves will be Chris Godinez, the second baseman. He'll face Matt Ogden. The righty winds and delivers. Strike on the inside corner. Home plate umpire Danny Mascora has been pretty liberal with that strike zone. It's been pretty big so far today. Pitchers are dealing strikes. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss on the high cheese. That one was about shoulder level for Godinez, but he was swinging away. He's quickly down 0-2.
If I was Ashbeck, I would go, Ogden. If I was Ogden, I'd go right back with that fastball. Looks like he can't catch up with it.
0-2 pitch. Comes with a fastball and gets a called third strike. There's the first out of the bottom of the first inning.
What masterful pitching by Ogden there. He goes inside with the first pitch, gets a high swing and miss with the second one, changes the eye level of Isaac Smith, and goes low and away for that third strike. Just beautiful piece of pitching there out of Matt Ogden.
1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. We're in the first game of the NCAA Regional. Mazes on the edge of that infield grass, watching for a bunt. Here's the first pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. Went off speed with that one. Still have to deal it in for a strike to Isaac Smith, who we just mentioned on the defensive side of the ball, made a great running catch out there in center field to rob Jackson Glines of extra bases. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. He's come off speed 2 pitches in a row, dealing nothing but strikes. 5 straight strikes to start the game from Matt Ogden. Definitely equaling what his counterpart Ashbeck did on the other side. The 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit high and inside. Michigan baseball thought they had their second consecutive strikeout looking. The visitors dug out down the third base line, let out a small roar after that one. The 1-2 pitch is lined right back up the middle for a base hit. Isaac Smith singles on the 2-strike pitch. and the Braves are in business. There's a runner on first, one out here in the bottom of the first inning.
How many times do you see it where a fielder will make an excellent play out in the field and come up to the plate and make a play there? Now he's setting him. Now he's got himself set up well for the 3-hitter, Spencer Gay.
And the Wolverines will keep an eye on Smith over at first base. 15 of 22 on stolen base attempts in the year. Benedetti holding with him there. Cronenworth shaded a little bit into the hole on the first base side. Ogden now working from the stretch. He deals one low. That one's bounced up to home plate. Nice block by Kendall Patrick to keep it in front of him and keep Smith at first base. As Dalton mentioned, Spencer Gay now the batter. He's in the righty batter's box batting. .343 on the year. Also has good pop in this bat. Slugging .500. 4 home runs, a triple, and 8 doubles on the year. The 1-0 pitch gets away from Patrick, and Smith will scoot down to second base. So after Ogden looked so commanding with no runners on base, pitching from the stretch has thrown him off a little bit. And he allows Smith to get up to second and move into scoring position on a wild pitch. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Matt Ogden should just focus on working that fastball, especially considering how liberal the home plate umpire has been today with the strike zone.
Ogden gets the sign from Patrick. Now comes set in the stretch. Delivers home. 2-0. That's popped up in the air. Bivens trying to block out the sun. He can't find it. And that one drops. So Smith will advance to third. Gay will reach. It'll be an infield single or possibly an error. You saw Bivens just kind of toss up his hands like he couldn't find that one in the bright sunny skies here at Louisville. As we mentioned, it was partly cloudy just a few moments ago, but they have the lights on here as in preparation for the night game coming up later. And just the clouds have parted a little bit. He just lost that one, and we'll see what they rule that one.
Kevin White, the left fielder, also had a play at third if he would have fielded it cleanly. So just a mental lapse there for the Wolverines.
They're going to call that a single. Smith moving up to third. Runners to the corners, only 1 out here for Bradley in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Paul Solka, the first baseman, is fouled off into the screen. 0-1 on him. As I mentioned, Smith, the runner on third. Gay, the runner at first. 1 out here. Matt Ogden on the mound for the Wolverines, looking to prevent any early runs by the Bradley Braves. Ogden comes set, working from the stretch. Now he'll fake to third, fake to first. We typically see a fake to third, throw to first move out of the Wolverines pitchers. It's one of their favorite plays. But no throw there from Matt Ogden. He simply steps off the mound. Now he'll get ready for the second pitch to Paul Solka. Here it comes. Breaking ball misses way up. Hung that breaking ball and fortunately get away with that one, but that was almost up to Solka's chin.
Like I said before, I'd like to see Ogden just keep working that fastball. Even on that last play there on the error by Bivens, he threw a fastball and got an out there, so you can't complain about that.
There's a breaking ball, misses low and away. 2-1 on Paul Solka. And you mentioned it's an error. They'll rule it as a hit, but I definitely can see where you're coming from. A just misplay on the ball, but just lost it in the sky. I probably would have ruled that one an error as well, but I'm not the official scorer. Throw to first base. Gay's back in safely. They'll slide in with head first slide. Gay's at first, Smith's at third. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Smith singled, advanced to second on a wild pitch, advanced to third on Gay's single to left center. That's what is ruled after Bivens lost a foul pop-up, or excuse me, just a regular pop-up in the sky. Paul Solka's at the plate. He has a 2-1 count. Ogden comes home. Runner is off to second base. Throw down to second and is not in time. So Gay will steal second and two runners in scoring position for the Bradley Braves early on. Kind of interesting that we saw Gay take off there, and he got a really good jump on Matt Ogden. Really no chance for Kendall Patrick. It was a good throw, pretty close to where you want it, but really just no chance. He got a really good jump. That's his 4th stolen base of the year and only 5 attempts. So not known as a base stealing threat, but able to get it there. Big opportunity for the Braves right here. 2-1 pitch, misses outside. Excuse me, that was the 2-2 as the strike on the steal attempt leveled the count, but that one misses outside, runs the count full.
I think I agree with the Michigan bench there. I thought that one should have been strike 3.
Ogden gets the sign, comes set. The payoff pitch. That one's fouled off down the first baseline. That's where many Bradley fans have positioned themselves here in the first game. Is you may tend to hear over the ambient mic a lot more cheering for pro Bradley plays, and so that we are stationed on that first base side of home plate, behind where the Bradley contingent is sitting behind their home dugout. So you'll hear a lot of cheering whenever something good happens for Bradley and consequently something bad for Michigan. 3-2 pitches popped up in the air. Let's see if the Wolverines can find this one. Kendall Patrick will call up everyone, and they'll let it drop again. Unbelievable. 2 defensive miscues for the Wolverines.
Luckily, when the ball dropped, it did roll foul and touched in foul territory by Kendall Patrick. So that's looks like we're going to see Solka one more time at the plate at least.
Yeah, the Wolverines had another chance for an easy out. They could be out of this inning by now. Runner at second base, and they could be out on 2 pop-ups. Ogden's done his job so far. You can't really fault him.
No, he hasn't walked anyone. He's been hammering the strike zone, and tough for a pitcher out there when you can't get plays made sometimes.
And we'll do it all over again. Here's the payoff pitch. That one's lined foul into the screen right over the Bradley dugout. Snagged there by looks like it was Brady Wilkin down there in the dugout for the Bradley Braves.
Ogden should keep going with the fastball. Solka's been behind the entire time, and he's just been able to command that one the best. So look to see a steady diet of fastballs on Matt Ogden today.
Another payoff pitch. 3-2 delivery. Fouled off into the screen. Solka staying alive. Gay on second, Smith on third. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Wolverines, a few defensive miscues so far. Bivens lost a pop-up in the sun, and Gay was able to reach and then stole second. Also a chance to get out of this batter. Solka popped one up, but the Wolverines were unable to find it. Rolled foul. Payoff pitch is fouled off again. A nice snag there by a Bradley fan down the first base line. And as you mentioned, Ogden keeps coming out with that fastball, and Solka just not quite able to catch up to it as he keeps following him a little late down that first base line. Wolverines are fairly shallow in the outfield, looking for potential play at home. Tenth pitch of the at-bat. Lifted high in the air to center field. This might be deep enough to get the run in. Jackson Glines tracking underneath it. He has it. Make the catch. Tagging from third is Smith. He will score. The throw is to third, so Gay will not advance from second base. That's the second out of the inning. But the Bradley Braves get a run. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first.
You feel bad for Matt Ogden because he picks up the earned run there. And that one was earned because Smith did hit the single earlier in the inning, but he advanced to third on that fly ball by Gay. And that should have been an out, giving them out number 2. And then this should have been out 3. You feel bad for Ogden there, but nothing you can do about it now. Now he's got pitched to Carlisle.
And still a runner in scoring position. Gay will be loosened up on any contact now with 2 outs. So he should score, as we just saw. Does have decent speed. That one's fouled off down the third baseline. That was a breaking ball. Drew Carlisle, the catcher, got out ahead of. 5 straight righties to start this lineup for the Bradley Braves. In contrast to their counterparts, the Wolverines have 4 straight lefties to start it off. The righty Carlisle against the righty Matt Ogden. 1-0 Braves here in the bottom of the first inning. Ogden comes set. He delivers. Swing and a miss. Pull the string with that changeup. Quickly 0-2 on Drew Carlisle. This would be a big out to get here. Limit the damage to only 1 run.
Wouldn't surprise me if Ogden went breaking ball here because the past batters before Carlisle have seen a lot of fastballs, so he might be sitting fastball.
He'll come set. Gay takes his lead off second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one is lined down the first base line, and that is a foul ball. Just missed. Wolverines were playing fairly shallow on Drew Carlisle. That was a long run for Johnny Slater. He was not going to get it on the fly. That one could have been 3 for Drew Carlisle if that one had stayed fair. but it did not. Goes about 2 feet foul, would you say?
I would say 2.
And it's just nothing but a long strike. Still 0-2 on Drew Carlisle. 1-0 Braves against the Michigan Wolverines. Here in game 1, we're in the bottom of the first inning, 2 outs. Ogden trying to get out of a mini jam here. There's a runner on second. 0-2 pitch. That one's lined right at the third baseman, Travis Mazes. He'll close his glove on it and make the catch for the third out of the inning. So Wolverines are able to escape a runners at second and third, 1-out jam with only giving up 1 run on the sacrifice fly. We head to the top of the second. The Bradley Braves lead the Michigan Wolverines 1-0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki on the call.
Going to give you a little bit of information about Bradley University. Located in Peoria, Illinois. They had not that long of a trip to get here. And they have a couple famous alumni. They have Sean Livingston, who is going to be playing in the NBA Finals against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Also, a name baseball fans might remember, Kirby Puckett. Played 1 year at Bradley before going pro, and he turned out just all right, I would say.
And connection to Kirby Puckett is the Wolverines just played in Minnesota, getting the Big Ten tournament title last weekend in Minnesota. Kirby Puckett never played at Target Field. That's where the tournament was held, but he did play at the Metrodome for quite a few years for the Twins. And we saw a couple of souvenirs picked up by Michigan Daily staff. We want to give our thanks to the Michigan Daily staff for giving us a ride down here to Louisville. We got an early start this morning and got down here in time for this 2 o'clock game. So give our thanks to Daily staff for giving us a ride down here, and we'll be hanging out with them all weekend. But we're going to get back to baseball. The Wolverines have the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up. Benedetti, Bruder, and Mazes. Wolverines did give a few baseballs a ride in that first inning. What can they do to just try and turn and maybe square up these fastballs a little bit better, try and drive them to the gaps instead of these long fly ball outs?
Yeah, it doesn't look like Ashbeck has anything really overpowering out on the mound. Looks like he just throws a lot of strikes, gets some fly ball outs. It's what we've seen early. So, like you said, if the Wolverines can just square up some balls and hit them where the Braves aren't, then they'll be in good condition.
The left fielder, Grinner, is well off the line. First pitch to Benedetti is a strike. As we mentioned, a very large strike zone by home plate umpire today. Carmen Benedetti waiting for the 0-1 pitch from Elliot Ashbeck. The righty delivers. That one's inside. Evens the count at 1-1. As I mentioned, Grinner and left well off the line. Rest of the outfield is pretty much straight up and a little deeper than normal, respecting Benedetti's power. Big Ten leader in doubles and RBIs. Takes a strike at the knees. 1-2 on Carmen Benedetti. Elliot Ashbeck has been throwing a lot of strikes here.
Both pitchers have, Andrew. So it's what you like to see. It keeps the game moving along.
And this one is popped into the left field corner. There's no one there, and that one will get down for a base hit. Benedetti digging for 2. Will he go for 3? He will hold up at second. And as I mentioned, the left fielder was playing well off the line. Benedetti gets a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning.
They were definitely playing Benedetti to pull there. Like you said, having Gruner so far off the line, but he got a nice outside strike and took it the opposite way. And I think the wind might have aided a little bit on that fly ball.
Yeah, as you mentioned when the Wolverines were batting in the first inning, it was blowing out to center field that perhaps carried their fly balls off the bat of Cronenworth lines a long way. Now it's blowing from right to left field. So right to where that ball landed, it was tailing away from the lefty who hit it the opposite field right into the corner. Gruner had a really long run, didn't get to it in time. Benedetti able to get an easy double, perhaps could have gone for a triple, but as a leadoff batter, don't want to make the first or third out of the inning at third base. That's an old baseball rule. Now Bruder will square to bunt. He'll pull it back. So Benedetti's on second. Wolverines looking to answer right back after they give a run in the bottom of the first to the Bradley Braves. Bruder perhaps looking to move up Carmen Benedetti here. He's going to get the signs from head coach Eric Bakich as he looks down that third base line to the visiting Wolverines dugout. Ashbeck taking his time on the mound. The righty will check the runner, now deliver. Nice square to bunt, and that one is going to be a strike, even though Bruder pulled it back. High in the outside corner, Bruder kind of gives a little shake of the head no, as he did not agree with that call from Open umpire Danny Mascaro, but nonetheless, it is 1-1 on Cody Bruder. Nobody out here in the top of the second. Wolverines trail 1-0. Ashbeck taking his time, working from the stretch with the runner on. Braves expecting a bunt here. That one bounces up to home plate, so Bruder will pull it back. 2-1. He has not gotten any pitches he could do anything with on a bunt, so Elliot Ashbeck pitching around that possibility, perhaps trying to get 2 quick strikes and then come after him and close out the strikeout. But 2-1 here. Outfield continues to play deep, and Gruner is still well off that left field line. Checks the runner, now delivers the 2-1. That's a bunt down the third base line. Foul. Bruder not pleased with himself. Slam his bat against the ground and step in that righty batter's box, ready to swing away now. We presume.
Good point you make about Gruner playing so far off the left field line, which is a little bit odd to see that with a righty up at the plate.
Especially Bruder, known as more of a pull hitter. He has shown some prowess in hitting it the opposite way, but no more to hit it to the gaps and then occasionally pull it down the left field line. Waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Ashbeck delivers. That one's grounded down the third base line. Great, good play by Gay, and he will have no play, so he fields it well. But Bruder able to reach on an infield single. He was able to keep that one from going down in that left field corner that we keep talking about. Gruner was well off the line, and that could have been a run-scoring double for the Wolverines. So a nice play by Gay to snag that one. It was going down the third base line.
It looked like Gay had a little bit of a fumble on the exchange from the mitt to the hand, because I thought it was a play that he could have easily made. Not easily, but pretty routine play out of third base on a high chopper like that. So let's see if Travis Mazes and the Michigan Wolverines can't capitalize here on a error by the third baseman.
And once again, that will be ruled a hit. So we've seen some fielding miscues here, and so far it's hurt the Wolverines more as Bivens lost that fly ball in the sky here in the early afternoon. Also a fielding miscue there by Gay, able to make the stop, but unable to get it out of his glove to throw it to first. So that's where Bruder is. Benedetti is on second after a leadoff double. Travis Mays is at the plate. He squared to bunt, pulled it back, and then missed 1-0. If you're Coach Bakich, do you bunt here?
I am not a fan of bunting. I'm not a fan of giving up outs. So I would like to see, especially as you're getting deeper in the order, once you get to the bottom third, I don't mind bunting. But besides that, I'm saying swing away.
Mazes squares to bunt again, but pulls it back as that one missed low and inside. 2-0 on Travis Mazes.
Ashbeck has had some control issues when the batters have squared around to bunt.
Yeah, perhaps just not trying to give him anything to hit. And he did get a 2-strike count on Bruder, was just able to cross on, get the ground ball he needed, just not in the right place. 2-0 pitch, misses. Now that'll be a strike. Wow. Just hits the outside corner. As I mentioned, a very large strike zone by Danny Mascaro. To be fair, it's gone both ways.
It has, and as a batter and a pitcher, all you can ask for as an umpire is a consistent strike zone.
And that's what Danny Mascaro has provided so far. It's just been large for both teams. 2-1 on Travis Mazes. Now looking to swing away here. He'll square to bunt, gets it down the third base line. The third baseman will field. Gay will throw, and he will be out. And that'll move up the runners. Benedetti goes to third, Bruder to second. That took a nice play by Gay, just able to get Mazes by about a step.
Important for Gay to be able to make that play there after the miscue on third, gets his confidence back up, and now he's ready to field anything that comes his way.
Now Kevin White will dig in that righty batter's box with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Wolverines looking to answer an early run from Bradley. The Braves lead the Wolverines 1-0 here. We're in Louisville for the first game of a NCAA tournament for baseball regional. White at the plate, takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 on him.
there a chance of a squeeze here, Andrew?
I really don't see the potential with Kevin White, not known as one of the best bunters on this team. I think he's swinging away, and with the amount of power and strength Kevin White has, I think he's going to look for just drive it to the outfield. Hopefully falls in a gap, but at least drive in a run with a sacrifice fly. He's swinging for the fences there and comes up empty on a breaking ball. Quickly 0-2 on Kevin White. We've seen a lot of different sides of Kevin White this year. Sometimes he looks really disciplined at the plate, can draw a walk, can go the opposite way with hard hit balls, and other times he just flails wildly at the plate and strikes out on 3 pitches. He's down 0-2 here. Big situation. Runners at second, third. Only 1 out here in the top of the second. Ashbeck checks the runner on second. Now comes home. Breaking ball just misses outside. I thought Mascaro was going to ring him up there. That was close.
All the Wolverines need here out of Kevin White is just a deep fly ball. Get Benedetti in. Even this one up.
I think that's what Kevin White is thinking too. Ashbeck taking a long look in, shakes off the sign. Now he finally comes set. Now he'll step off, look the runners back to third and second base respectively. An interesting tidbit about Kevin White, he's trained to be a Navy SEAL. So just goes through, really likes to push himself, do a lot of physical challenges, and just has a ton of strength. The 1-2 pitch bounced up to home plate.
And him training to be a Navy SEAL, that's great for the Michigan Wolverines because it gives them another leader out there on the field. And
yeah, the senior from Charlottesville, Virginia, has a big opportunity here, looking to tie this game up or perhaps even give the Wolverines the lead. 1-0 Braves here in the top of the second. The 2-2 pitch bounced up to home plate again. After falling behind 0-2, Kevin White has now gotten this count full. There is an open spot for him at first base. But the way Slater's been swinging the bat recently, don't necessarily want to pitch to him.
A little bit of speed on second with Cody Bruder, too. So a single may score 2 here.
Yeah, the Bradley outfield is playing fairly deep here. Ashbeck comes set. The payoff pitch. That one's lined to right field. That will get down for a base hit. 1 run will score. But because Bruder had to hold up and to see if that one was going to get down, he'll advance to third. But that will tie the game. We're now even at 1 here in the top of the second. Runners at the corners after an RBI single by Kevin White. Bring up Johnny Slater to the plate.
What a great piece of hitting by Kevin White. Found himself down early in the count. Worked it back up to a favorable hitter's count and took an outside pitch the opposite way. Just great plate appearance for Kevin White there. And let's see if Johnny Slater can keep the hit train rolling.
That's what he's going to be trying to do here. Johnny Slater has had a rough year offensively, but when he gets it going, he can really show flashes. That's what he did in the Big Ten tournament. Had a big-time 3-run homer in the opener against Indiana. That set the tone for the tournament. Wolverines are able to add 1 more run and get a 4-1 victory in that opening game. Still taking a breaking ball outside. 1-0. He's got runners at the corners. Still only 1 out in this inning for the Wolverines. Started with a leadoff Benedetti double down the left field line. Then Bruder had an infield single at third base. Mazes bunted the runners over before Kevin White drove in a run and advanced Bruder to third. He's standing at first base right now. That one's lifted high in the air to center field. Smith tracking back. This should be deep enough to get the run in. Smith will make the catch. Bruder will tag up and score. And the Wolverines take the lead on a sacrifice fly by Johnny Slater. 2-1 Wolverines in the top of the second.
Coach Bakich can't be any happier with Johnny Slater right now. Goes up there, did exactly what he was told to do, got the run in, and 2 outs now. Kevin White on first. Now you turn it back over to your defense, and hopefully you see a little more solid defense out of the Michigan Wolverines this next inning.
Yeah, still have a chance to do a little bit more here. Kendall Patrick, who also homered in that Big Ten tournament, got a solo home run in that 8-5 victory over Iowa. That was perhaps one of the more surprising victories. Wolverines notched victories against both Iowa and Illinois, the 2 top teams in the Big Ten in the regular season. First, Ashbeck will step off the mound. Look, Kevin White back to first base. In typical Wolverines fashion, White will not return to first base. That's what Wolverines like to do on the base pass. Now he'll draw a throw over, but when the pitcher does not throw over, the Wolverines just like to stay off, kind of in a symbol of defiance. They just stay off the bag and don't like to return. I think they're just trying to play mind games. Not surprising with a leader like Coach Bakich in the dugout. Ashbeck waiting to deliver the first pitch to Kendall Patrick. Here it comes. Fastball up and in. 1-0.
Coach Bakich, this is his first experience in the NCAA tournament as a head coach, but he does have some experience as assistant out of that powerhouse Vanderbilt team who's put out plenty of good players into the MLB.
Ashbeck checks the runner, now comes home. White starts and stops, and there's a ground ball foul down the third base line. Just got a little bit ahead of that one. Patrick got good contact on that, and we'll see impressive sprinting by Matt Glozier. He hopped out of dugout and sprinted all the way down to the left field corner. That's to the 330 sign out there. Tossed the ball over the fence to a young Wolverines fan there in the corner, and he'll sprint back in the dugout. So a warm-up for Matt Glozier. That was a long run at a pretty quick pace. Back to the ball game. It's 1-1. White is going. Throw down to second base is dropped. So it looked like it was going to be in time, but Leffler just bobbled that one. Head first slide by Kevin White, and he's in there with a steal. Wolverines have a chance to add to their 2-1 lead. Kevin White gets his third stolen base of the year, as we mentioned, has averaged to perhaps a little bit below average speed, but able to get his third stolen base of the year on 4 attempts. It was a good throw by Carlisle, perhaps just a little bit offline on the shortstop side. But, excuse me, there was Gonzalez covering on the play. Gonzalez, the second baseman. Godinez. That one's lifted high in the air to left field. Gruner is tracking. That one is gone! A home run by Kendall Patrick. Wolverines lead 4-1.
Just as you said earlier, Andrew, he shows flashes of power and puts it on display on the big stage here in Louisville.
There's a line drive home run. Just carries the wall in left field. Did not look like it was going to get out of here, but indeed it did. And Kendall Patrick, it's his 7th home run of the year. Wolverines lead 4-1 here in Louisville.
It's funny that you mentioned left field because now when you look at the flags, it looks like the flags are blowing out dead left from home to left. So it got caught up in the wind and it carried.
I think that is a case of it carrying. And Gruner also, as we mentioned, just continues to play almost in that left center field gap. Perhaps a little bit more left field. There's a lot of room to patrol out there in left field, but he's been playing well at the wall. And it really didn't sound like a home run or look like a home run off the bat, but it just carried the wall, perhaps carried. And there's a sharp hit right back up the middle by Jacob Cronenworth. The rally is still alive with 2 outs for the Wolverines. They've already scored 4 runs. They're looking for more. Jacob Cronenworth singles right back up the middle. Nice piece hitting there.
And huge hit out of Kendall Patrick because now it turns it back over to the top of the lineup for the Wolverines, and Ashbeck's on the ropes right now.
And we haven't seen anyone warming up for the Bradley Braves. This kind of got out of hand in a hurry. It looked like they were doing fine, but they gave up the RBI single to White before Slater hit a sacrifice fly. Slater stole second to move there with 2 outs before Kendall Patrick homered moments ago to give the Wolverines a 4-1 lead. Then Jacob Cronenworth singled right back up the middle of the center field. A solid lined hit. And the pitching coach for the Bradley Braves will go out and try and settle down his junior right-hander. Also, the catcher Carlisle consulting on the play. So Wolverines have a runner at first, 2 outs, looking to add to their 4-1 lead. They've scored all 4 runs here in the top of the second. This is game 1 of the NCAA Baseball Tournament Regional. Michigan Wolverines against Bradley Braves. First pitch to the freshman shortstop, Jake Bivens, is low and inside, 1-0.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Cronenworth try and take off and steal second here. Ashbeck's got a slow delivery on the mound, and Cronenworth's got some good speed.
Cronenworth taking a fairly cautious lead over at first, but draws a throw from Ashbeck back in safely with a head first slide. Gets another throw. He was just barely getting off the bag. It was basically just a body leg off the bag, and that throw came so quickly after Cronenworth was getting set. Perhaps just trying to catch him by surprise. Ashbeck checks the runner, now delivers 1-0. Fastball misses up. After commanding the strike zone, in the first inning. He's really struggled here.
That's what putting runners on base will do to a pitcher. When you got traffic on the base pass, it'll really take your mind out of a game.
Yeah, we saw a little bit with Matt Ogden, lost the strike zone, but able to regain a little more quickly. Ashbeck's still in trouble. Cronenworth starts and stops as the 2-0 pitch misses outside to Jake Bivens. It's 3-0. Wolverines looking for a 2-out walk here to bring up the number 3 hitter, Jackson Glines. He's on deck. Carmen Benetti in the hole. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. Fastball splits the heart of the plate. 3-1 on Jake Bivens. Cronenworth on first base. He's there after a 2-out single. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one's fouled off. I think he just swung a ball 4 right there.
I think he did too. It looked like he reached a little bit high and outside for that one. And now with a 3-2 count, 2 outs, we should see Cronenworth on the move with the delivery.
Cronenworth will, and the first baseman, Solka, will play behind him there. Cronenworth dancing around at first base. He is off with the pitch, and that one bounces up to home plate. Blocked by Carlisle to make sure the runners only stay at first and second. So Ashbeck fell behind 3-0, then fought back to make it 3-2, but didn't even come close to the strike zone on the 6th pitch of the at-bat. And a 2-out walk for Jake Bivens brings up Jackson Glines. He was the 3rd batter of that first inning and gave the ball quite a ride deep to center field. Smith caught that one with a nice running catch as he slammed into the wall to the deepest part of the ballpark in center field, right about 400 feet out there. And Glines looking to add to the Wolverines' 4-1 lead. First pitch is high.
Glines is going to be looking for another fastball like he took deep in the first inning, except he'll try to get ahead of this one a little bit more and put it into a gap somewhere.
He's got the 1-0 count here. Cronenworth on second, Bivens on first. Leffler close, trying to sneak in behind Cronenworth. Now he'll retreat. Breaking ball misses low. That one looked like perhaps a chance for Glines to hit, but just a little too low for his liking. He'll take it 2-0.
Ashbeck's just got to settle down here and find the strike zone again, not worry about the runners. He's already got 2 out, so if he can just take care of Glines, he'll be in all right condition.
He's already given up 4 runs in this inning. That's giving the Wolverines a 4-1 lead. Now he'll step off and look Cronenworth back to second base. Bivens also retreats back to first base. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Wolverines lead 4-1. Outfield, very deep all around, respecting Glines' power. Ashbeck checks the runner, now delivers. There's a ground ball to the first baseman. That one is foul. So it is 2-1 on Jackson Glines.
2-1, Glines will be looking for that fastball again. This is a classic fastball count for a pitcher, especially one who's been having a little bit of trouble commanding his off speed.
Yeah, after dominant strike throwing in the first inning, he has not looked nearly as comfortable with runners on base. The Wolverines have had runners on base since the leadoff double by Benedetti. Swinging a foul back to the screen makes it 3-2. That will loosen up the runners here. Or excuse me, 2-2. Runners will not be loosened up here with 2 outs.
He got the fastball he was looking for. He was right on it, fouling straight back, but just a little low.
2-2 on Jackson Glines, the senior center fielder. Here comes the pitch that's lifted high and foul. That one had home run distance down the right field line, but just pulls it a little too early into the bullpen for the Bradley Braves. They now have 2 pitchers getting up and getting loose. It's really hard to identify who they are as they're behind the stands and a tarp down there in the right field corner. Now we'll see a mound conference by Carlisle. He obviously did not like what he saw there as Glines once again got really good contact. It just didn't go quite where he needed it to go.
Ashbeck's in a tough situation because, like you said, Carlisle, he probably doesn't want to see another fastball out of Ashbeck, but that's the only thing he's been able to decently command recently, and that's what Glines feeds off of.
2-2 pitch. That's lifted high in the air to center field. Smith is tracking it, and he will make the catch. So once again, Glines drives it deep to center field, but Smith is there to make the catch. They'll do it for the Wolverines in the top of the second, but they get 4 runs and take a 4-1 lead. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki on the call. So Wolverines able to get some runs back there. And do you think they can keep it up? How long do you think we'll see Ashback in this game?
The way Ashback was pitching, especially towards the end there, it wouldn't surprise me if you saw the coach go to another pitcher here, because as you stated earlier today, Ashback is the number one. And so they might call his day early and try to turn over the bullpen, because this Michigan Wolverines team right there, they just did what they've been doing all year. They just hit the ball. A lot of production out of the bottom third of the lineup, which is what Coach Bakich really wants to see here. So if they can keep setting the table for the big guys to come and clean it up, Michigan's going to have a very successful tournament run.
Yeah, they did more than set the table there. We saw Kevin White, the 7-hitter, with that opposite field RBI single. Then Johnny Slater did exactly what he was instructed to do, get that long sacrifice fly out to center field before Kendall Patrick surprises all with a line drive home run to left field. And that gave the Wolverines a 4-1 lead rather suddenly. They just fallen behind in the bottom of the first inning and then got some production by the middle of that lineup by Benedetti, Bruder, and Mazes. But as you mentioned, that bottom part of the order has really picked them up, driven in all 4 runs for the Wolverines. And now they'll head back to the defensive side. They had a few struggles. They have no technical errors, but a couple misplays by the Wolverines. Bivens just couldn't locate a high pop-up in the first inning that allowed Gay to reach. And Smith ended up coming around to score the only run of the day for Bradley, but Ogden pitched well. He'll now deliver a pitch way outside to Ian Kristen.
If Ogden can keep pitching like he did in that first inning, the Michigan Wolverines, they'll have a good day today.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, is a strike at the knees. Even's kind of 1-1 on the freshman DH. Under a 257 batting average on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. That one had some good movement on it.
That one really broke well. About a 12-7 break on that curveball there. Came back inside to left-handers. Nice backdoor breaking ball.
1-2 pitch misses outside. Evens the count at 2-2 here on Ian Kristen, the first batter in the bottom of the second for the Bradley Braves.
I'd like to see Matt Ogden maybe throw that breaking ball that breaks out of the zone here.
2-2 pitch just misses. Gotta wonder where that one was with how big the strike zone has been. Kristen got out of the way of that one, but looked like it maybe hit the plate. Nonetheless, Danny Mascaro does not go with the right hand. Here's the payoff pitch that's popped in the air. Let's see if the Wolverines can find it. Lions looking for it, and he will make the catch in center field. So Wolverines are finally able to record a fly ball out after some scary moments in the first inning. So not only did Bivens not catch that pop up to the shortstop, there's also a pop up right in the infield, and the Wolverines were unable to locate. It would have been an out, but instead it just rolled foul.
That could have been some jitters for the Michigan Wolverines, considering this is their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2008. So none of these players were on that team.
The first pitch to Tyler Leffler is a foul ball right back into the screen, a little bit down the third base line. Head coach Eric Bakich will retrieve that one. 0-1 on Tyler Leffler. I think only 193 on the year. He does have a little bit of extra base power, 9 doubles, 1 home run, but doesn't make a lot of contact. Takes a strike at the top of the zone. Quickly 0-2 on Leffler. Also 35 strikeouts in 192 at-bats for the junior shortstop.
You'd like to see Ogden just cruise through this bottom third of the lineup.
And 0-2 pitch just misses. He came with a changeup there. Tried to get Leffler to chase. Almost got in there for a called third. But Leffler able to lay off it. 1-2 on him. Wolverines also with playing their left fielder Kevin White well off that left field line. This is a ground ball to third base. That's scooped up by Mazes. He'll fire over to first. And they'll get Leffler by about 2 steps. So Ogden increases the ground ball. That's the second out of the bottom of the second.
And he's doing exactly what he needs to do here. Low pitch count so far after not his fault for being a little bit high in that first inning, but pitch count nonetheless was a little bit high. So he's cruising through this bottom half of the lineup here and looking to stay a long time in this one.
Here's Evan Gruner, the left fielder. Swing and a miss. Came back with a slider there. And that one's, as you mentioned, that's the breaking ball that breaks away from the lefty batter. You already saw the backdoor curveball to earlier lefter. That was to Kristen. This one's popped up in the air. Mays is tracking it right along the railing of the Wolverines bullpen. He will not be able to make that catch as it'll bounce off the roof of their bullpen. It will find its way into the hands of a Michigan Wolverines fan off after a big bounce. 0-1.
Gruner swinging hard here, maybe trying to put this one back into Cincinnati.
It'd be a long way to come from here. An hour and 45-minute drive way up the Ohio River. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that is the strikeout. So 0-2. It was the 0-2 pitch. So a strikeout swinging by Evan Gruner. That's the third out of the inning. And the Wolverines able to get a shutdown inning of Matt Ogden. That's what you always want after you put some runs on the board. We head to the top of the third. Wolverines lead 4-1. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball.
I have a few out-of-town scores for some NCAA baseball. We got Auburn taking on Charleston. That one's tied 6-6 in the bottom of the eighth. You can catch all these games on ESPN3. You have Oral Roberts leading Arkansas in the bottom of the sixth, 3-2. Columbia and East Carolina. East Carolina taking the lead in the top of the fifth on that one. Top of the sixth for Florida Atlantic and South Florida. Little in-state battle there. South Florida right now winning 4-3. So
yeah, that's a really, just to chime in real quick, that's a really interesting regional as all four teams are from Florida. Florida gets, being one of those top 16 seeds, gets the home regional, and I don't think they'd be too pleased that all of the teams they're facing off against are from their own home state and will bring a lot of fans. So it's Florida versus Florida A&M, and then South Florida and Florida Atlantic. So just a lot of Florida teams in that regional. Go ahead.
Then we got a East Coast, West Coast matchup. Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers taking on the Cal Bears. The Bears find themselves ahead 4-1 in the bottom of the sixth. Wright State and Notre Dame Fighting Irish squaring off in the bottom of the sixth. Notre Dame's up 5-4. And to complete the scoreboard, Oregon finds themselves down to Big Ten brother of Michigan, Iowa in the top of the third.
And we're about ready to start the top of the third here at Jim Patterson Stadium. Carmen Benedetti led off this second inning with a double in the left field corner. Wolverines ended up scoring 4. Benedetti scored on that RBI single by Kevin White. Here's the first pitch. That one misses inside, but it'll be a strike nonetheless. Benedetti got well out of the way of that one, but guess that hit the inside black of the plate on the lefty Benedetti. Once again, Gruner, the left fielder, playing very far off that left field line. The 0-1 misses low and inside, evens the count at 1-1. That was Benedetti's Big Ten leading 25th double of the year. Also has 2 triples and 3 home runs. Checks his swing on that one, and he did not go around. So it's 2-1 on Carmen Benedetti, sophomore out of Grosse Pointe, Michigan.
Carmen Benedetti, he should be expecting that fastball on the 2-1 count because Ashback doesn't want to find himself down 3-1.
2-1 pitch. Fastball up. 3-1. Benedetti looking to spark another rally for the Wolverines. They already lead 4-1 here in the top of the third. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. 3-1 pitch misses outside. 5-pitch walk for Carmen Benedetti. He'll head down to first base as a leadoff runner for the Wolverines. Coming up now is Cody Bruder. Cody Bruder reached on an infield single his last time up. That was also last inning in the second. He was trying to lay down a bunt to move Benedetti over to third after the leadoff double. Was able to do that, but then swinging away with 2 strikes, grounded it down the left field line, gave it a nice diving play to keep that one from going into the corner, but just couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and it was an infield single for Cody Bruder. Now he's got a runner at first. Nobody out here in the top of the third. First pitch misses high and inside. 1-0 on Cody Bruder. He'll look over to the dugout, get the signs from head coach Eric Bakich. Now dig back into that righty batter's box to face the righty Ashbeck. Benedetti on first is not a base stealing threat. 1 for 2 on the year, but nonetheless he'll draw a throw.
Ashbeck really shouldn't have to worry about the runner here, like you said. Only 1 for 2 on the season for Benedetti.
Ashbeck checks the runner. Benedetti starts and stops. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Bruder once again not pleased with that call. He just had looks like he had a polite question for home plate umpire Danny Mascaro. Now he'll turn around, look down that third base line for the signs from the Wolverines dugout. Get ready to face Elliot Ashbeck here. Ready, delivers. That one's a foul ball right off the foot, I believe, of Cody Bruder. He goes down in a little bit of a heap. Or I think that one maybe got his thigh. I think he fouled into his right thigh. So that's now 1-2 on Cody Bruder.
I can tell you from personal experience, that hurts. It stings, especially how hard these guys throw. That'll shake anyone up.
Benedetti takes his cautious lead off first base. He's barely off the bag. Solka is holding with him there. 1-2 on Cody Bruder. Ashbeck checks the runner, now comes home. That's a fastball up. Bruder started and stopped his swing. Evens the count at 2-2. Ashbeck working on the first base side of the rubber. He'll look in for the sign from the catcher Carlisle. Now comes set. He's working the stretch with Benedetti on first base. Benedetti starts and stops. There's a foul ball into the screen. Bruder able to stay alive. Outfield about average depth. They're playing Cody Bruder to go the opposite way. Once again, Gruner well off that left field line. We haven't really seen him anywhere close to it. We've already seen a double and a home run hit in that direction in the previous inning for the Wolverines. Looking to add more here. Throw over to drive Benedetti, standing up, back to first base. He's in safely by a long shot. He was already standing on first base by the time that ball made about halfway over to first base. First baseman Solka is holding with the Wolverines' first baseman, Cameron Benedetti. Delivery. That one's lifted high in the air down the first base line. Braves are tracking it, and Solka will make the catch. So a pop out by Cody Bruder is the first out of the inning. Benedetti remains on first base.
Nice play by Solka to track it down that right field line and make a nice over-the-shoulder catch for out number 1.
Yeah, not a bad play there by Solka. He was able to track it down. I thought that was going to get out of play, but as we mentioned, the wind is blowing out to left field, now blowing more right to left field. So it's been shifting around a lot here. We'll keep you updated as that does have an impact on how these balls travel. So that one perhaps blown just a little bit back onto the field of play, and Solka able to record the catch for the first out. First pitch to Travis Mazes, fastball for a strike. That one hits 86 on the gun from the junior righty. Mazes had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Benedetti on first barely takes his lead off there. This one's lifted high in the air to left field. Gruner tracking over to his right. He will make the catch. So a long fly ball out for the Wolverines. Benedetti unable to tag up. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Wolverines lead 4-1. They'll leave it up to Kevin White. Kevin White, 1 for 1 on the day, had that opposite field RBI single just last inning that gave the Wolverines their first run of the game. He drove in Carmen Benedetti. Bruder advanced to third on that one and was driven in by a Johnny Slater sacrifice fly before Kevin White stole second and then scored in the Kendall Patrick home run. That's how the Wolverines got their 4 runs. looking to add more here. Benedetti got a leadoff walk, but 2 outs by the Wolverines. Leaves Benedetti here. There's a line drive right to the center fielder, or excuse me, to the shortstop. I don't know where I got center fielder from. Leffler able to field it on hop, then flip over to Godinez at second base. There's the 3rd out. So Wolverines get a leadoff walk, but no more. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. You listen to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki on the call.
Beautiful stadium they have here in Louisville, tucked right behind the football stadium and right by the train tracks. We've already seen 2 or 3 trains go by today.
Yeah, I've counted 3 trains so far. So busy athletic campus here. We know that there's also a train tracks right through the Wolverines athletic campus. So that one only goes through at night. So whenever there's anything in the day, no trains coming through. And yeah, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, just an absolutely gorgeous athletic campus here at the University of Louisville. Everything very recently redone. This baseball stadium in 2005, and the Louisville Cardinals have rewarded their fans with 3 World Series appearances since then. They advanced in 2007 before also advanced in the last 2 years, 2013 and 2014. They're unable to do it, but they are forced to be reckoned with. They'll be coming up in the 6 p.m. game against Morehead State, and the winner of this game will face the winner of that game at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Matt Ogden returns to the mound for the Wolverines. In 2 runs, he's given up 2 hits and 1 earned run, but can't really fault him for that run, as a few fielding miscues led to that early run for the Bradley Braves. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Braves. Weber, Godinez, and Smith. Weber, the right fielder, hitting .218 on the year. He's ready to step into the lefty batter's box to face the righty Matt Ogden.
Ogden's doing exactly what Coach Bakich thought he would do. He continued to stay hot as he did in the Big Ten tournament, and he's dealing well today.
Here's the first pitch. Weber takes that one high and outside. 1-0 to Matt Ogden. Travis Mazes, the 3rd baseman, is right along the infield grass, watching for potential bunt here from Weber. This one swung and fouled into the screen, levels the count at 1-1. Wolverines play the lefty Weber to pull. Kevin White, very well off that left field line. Slater shaded a little bit into the corner down right field. Klein's pretty much straight up in center field. Wolverines infield defense also positioned for the pull hit. There's a fastball strike for Matt Ogden, makes it 1-2.
Ogden's fastball has just been overpowering today. Not one Bradley hitter has been able to get ahead of it, and that's what you like to see out of your pitcher early on.
1-2 pitch. That one's lined right back up the middle. Not a hard hit ball, but just got the end of the bat on it. He's able to get back up the middle. So leadoff single for the Bradley Braves from their 9-hitter Carson Weber. They'll turn up the top of the lineup for Chris Godinez, the 2nd baseman, 0 for 1 on the day. Weber, not much of a base stealing threat, 2 for 2 on the year. He's played in 49 of the Braves' 64 games. 64 games. Chris Godinez at the plate. He struck out looking as the first batter of the day for the Braves. Takes a breaking ball low, 1-0.
This Bradley team does have some players that can steal the bases. You got Chris Godinez, who's 12 for 16 on the year. Isaac Smith, 15 for 22. 22 attempts.
Ogden working from the stretch, delivers 1-0. That one bounced up to home plate. And as we saw in the first inning, when Ogden allows runners to get on base, he can sometimes struggle in finding the strike zone. He was able to get back in the groove rather quickly and much faster than his counterpartner Ashbeck. But 2-0 here on Chris Godinez. Good hitters count. That one misses low. 3-0 on Godinez. Godinez has shown the ability to draw a walk. 44 walks on the season. That's why he's batting .295, but has an on-base percentage just a hair below 500 at .497. 3-0 is a fastball strike. Hits the radar gun at 88 miles an hour. Weber on first base. Bendetti holding with him there. Wolverines have a 4-1 lead. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Ogden delivers home. That one's lined to right field. Slater unable to make that catch. He'll have to field on a hop. And back-to-back singles put runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning.
Matt Ogden can't be too discouraged giving up back-to-back singles because they were really soft line drives, both to just in spots where no Michigan fielder could get to it. So his stuff is still working. It's just the hitters are up there to hit two. They're not going to let you just blow them by them. So,
and as you mentioned, a very speedy player coming to the plate here in the form of Isaac Smith, the center fielder. We've seen him make some nice running catches on the defensive side of the ball. Just a 1-for-1 on the day. He singled up the middle and ended up coming around to score in that first inning that gave the Braves a 1-0 lead, but now they trail 4-1. They're looking to change that as they have runners at first and second after back-to-back singles by Weber and Godinez. First pitch by Ogden misses up, and now Kendall Patrick will convene a meeting on the mound from Matt Ogden. We see some Wolverines pitchers getting loose. Looks like that's Oliver Jaskey down there, and unsure who the other one is. His glove is blocking his number. But a righty and a lefty for the Wolverines getting loose. Imagine the leash to be pretty short for Matt Ogden. Is that what you would expect?
Yeah, I would expect that because like you said earlier, when he's gotten players on base, he's had a real tough time commanding it. 4-1, you don't want to give up the lead early, so if they can get this batter here, and hate to see him leave after having such a strong early on performance, only giving up one run, which was due to some defensive indifferences between the fielders, but
now he'll face Isaac Smith. 1-0 pitch misses up. That'll be a strike. That draws some groans from the Bradley faithful here, positioned right in front of us down the first base line. I thought that one missed up, but that'll be a strike from the generous strike zone by Danny Mascaro. Runners at first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Wolverines lead 4-1. Ogden checks the runner. Now here's a bunt. That one's popped up, and Mays is unable to field it, so he makes the smart play there. He was trying to charge in. That one was hung up in the air a little bit, tried to catch it for an out, but unable to field it, so he makes the smart play there. He knew he didn't have much of a chance on the Speedy Smith at first, so just let it roll foul. Just good heads of baseball playing there.
And that's why he's there. He can make plays, and he knows the game of baseball real well. And like you said, with the Speedy Smith, he knew he didn't have a play at first, so decided to let it roll foul. Now let's see if Ogden can get the out himself.
1-2 here. Ogden working from the stretch. Here's the delivery. He almost hits him, but Smith able to get out of the way of that one. He was squaring to bunt again, even with 2 strikes. Interesting call here, but Smith trusts his skill with the bat and thinks he can get it down in fair territory. Trying to move those runners up and perhaps even reach himself as he's got some wheels. The righty Smith against the righty Ogden. The 2-2 pitch. Just misses outside. Kendall Patrick held that fastball for an extra beat. Came in at 89 miles an hour in the gun, but was unable to persuade Danny Mascaro to go up with that right hand and call Isaac Smith out. So now the count is full. The runners will be loosened up. Nobody out here. Ogden work from the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Runners stay put. And there's strike 3 called. Isaac Smith was headed down to first base. He thought he had a walk. Danny Mascaro did not like the showmanship by the center fielder, and he will ring him up. That's 1 out for the Wolverines here. And a big-time strikeout for Matt Ogden.
Especially considering that Smith may have gotten away with a strike 3 on that outside corner on the 2-2 count. So coaches always tell you, with 2 strikes on you, if it's close, you got to swing it. That was close enough to be a strike, especially in the eyes of Danny Mascaro.
As we mentioned, a big strike down here from Mascaro, and that one fits the theme there. Breaking ball, nasty curveball there. Spencer Gay swings and misses. He was well ahead of that one. 0-1 on the dangerous third baseman, batting .348 on the year, slugging over 500 at .504. He's got some pop in this bat, looking to drive in some runs for the Braves. They try to get back in this ballgame. They trail 4-1. The 0-1 is lifted in the air center field. Glines is tracking it, and he will make the catch. What a play by Jackson Glines. We saw him get SportsCenter #1 just last week with a diving play against Indiana in the tournament opener, and an equally good play there. A sensational diving catch out in center field.
What a play by Jackson Glines. Dives for it on the warning track. You don't see many players go out and sacrifice their body like that. A lot of times they'll just play it off the wall. And if he doesn't make that catch, that's 1, maybe 2 runs, potentially cutting the lead to 4-3. But Jackson Glines just continues to dazzle with the leather.
Spectacular play there. Gets the second out of the inning. That will leave up to Paul Solka. Weber on second, Godinez on first. Ogden looking to get out of a first and second, nobody out jam. He's gotten 2 outs here. He got a strikeout looking from Smith. Then a very long fly ball out there. A spectacular play by Glines. That one just hung up there. First pitch to Solka. Comes back with that curveball. Swing and a miss there.
The third time through the order, I've noticed that Matt Ogden has been starting off with a lot more curveballs than fastballs. Could be that Lanner, maybe he's getting a better feel for the curveball, which we've seen him throw for a lot of strikes lately.
He'll check the runner on second. Now come home. That one's fouled off. It looks like it maybe went off the foot of Solka or just hit something in foul territory before rolling back into fair territory. Nonetheless, they'll be tossed aside. And quickly 0-2 on Paul Solka. Matt Ogden 1 strike away from getting out of this mini jam. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Wolverines lead 4-1. Bradley Braves trying to do something about it here. See Matt Ogden working from the stretch. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? He did not. First place umpire Ken Langford will signal safe as he did not go around on that one. Checked his swing in time.
Thought that was the right call out of Ken over there on first base.
Now 1-2 on Paul Solka. Had a sacrifice fly his first time up. That scored the Braves' only run of the game so far. 1-2. Comes back with that breaking ball. And that one misses low and away. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on for the Bradley Braves. We're in the bottom of the third. Wolverines lead by 3, 4-1. Kendall Patrick looked like he had something in his eye, so look at that figured out.
All fastballs, or all breaking balls out of Ogden here to Solka. He might try to blow him away with a fastball here on the 2-2.
Ogden working from the stretch. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He got him looking. Another strikeout for Matt Ogden ends the inning. He gets out of the jam. Wolverines are able to move on to the top of the fourth. They lead 4-1. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. We're in the first game of the NCAA regional round of the baseball tournament. Wolverines lead 4-1 by virtue of that 4-run second inning.
With a pitch count of 56 for Matt Ogden, you might be able to, I would fully expect him to be back on the mound for this upcoming inning.
And we'll see if he takes the mound in the fourth. The Wolverines did have Donnie Eden and a unidentified right-hander warming up. I believe it maybe was Matt Glozier, perhaps. I think Matt Glozier is the likely option. We'll see who else that could have been. It's always hard to identify who is down there. There's a lot of right-handers. Could have also been Cam Wysocki, 28 and 29, both right-handers. Very hard to identify for the Wolverines as they're out there in left field. They're no longer getting warmed up, so perhaps after getting out of that jam, I think Matt Ogden's earned himself another inning. He's gone through a lot of pitches, but he'll still have a chance likely to get inning number 4 in the books. But first up is the Wolverines in the top of the fourth as they have the 8-9-1 hitters coming up.
Well, especially Ogden finding that location with his curveball got a lot of strikeouts with it thus far. Now it can be a real weapon now they can throw it early on in counts. Johnny Slater to lead off the Wolverines here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah,
Elliot Ashback back on the mound.
Slater did a good job in that first at bat. Drove in a run with the sacrifice fly. Didn't try and do too much, just hit a long way to center field. That got the Wolverines the 2-run lead.
First pitch to Slater, breaking ball inside for a strike. 0-1 to Slater.
Really took a lot off that one, did Ashbeck. 73 miles an hour and gets it right in the inside corner.
The windup delivery. Another breaking ball to Slater. This one bounces at about 58 feet and into the glove of Carlisle. That'll even the count up at 1-1.
Yeah, tried to go back to the same spot, but unable to repeat the performance.
The 1-1 up the middle, sliding attempt for Godinez at second, but that'll sneak through. That's a base hit for Johnny Slater, and he just continues with the hot bat.
Yeah, he started off really cold this year, then heated up, and then as I just remember the distinct moment as we got to Central Michigan in Mount Pleasant. I looked back at the stat sheet, and suddenly he was already back down in the 210s, and I was wondering how that happened. He just cooled off in a hurry. He had a number of 0 for 3, 0 for 4 days in a row, but he's picked up a little bit. He's up in the Big Ten tournament, and now got the sacrifice fly, and now 1 for 1 on the day here.
The home run hitter, Kendall Patrick, at the plate now for the Wolverines. Slater on first. Ashback checking over, delivers. Slater takes off the throw in time, but couldn't get the catch as Godinez, and that's a stolen base for Johnny Slater. Give him 6 on the year, and that'll put him in scoring position.
Yeah, really good speed out of Johnny Slater. We've known he's always had that skill, but this hasn't been able to put it together on the base pass. Hasn't been called on a lot. As you mentioned, 6 steals and 6 attempts. But when he's playing well, he can be a true 5-tool player out there in the outfield. Gets a stolen base there, swinging. Or stolen base there. Kevin White just swinging. Kendall Patrick swinging to protect his batter. Now a little mound conference.
Ashback and Carlisle discussing what they want to do with the runner on second. Kendall Patrick now looking to pick up another RBI. Breaking ball way outside, bounces in. That'll even the count up at 1-1 for Kendall Patrick, the Wolverines catcher, who, if you haven't heard already, has a home run on the day, went to left field, and he put it up in the wind, and it just carried.
Yeah, line drive home run. Didn't look like it was going. It looked like it was going to get down for a double in that left field corner, but somehow able to carry that wall by virtue of this strong gust, about 10 miles an hour out to left field.
The 1-1 sets, delivers. That ball. It could be in the gap. It's trouble. That's on the right center gap. That one's all the way to the wall. Slater will score, and Kendall Patrick finds himself with a double and another RBI. Give Michigan one more. 5-1 Michigan against Bradley.
And he'll throw the fishing lure into the Michigan dugout and give it a little yank and draw his teammates out to celebrate the run as they will welcome home Johnny Slater as he adds on another run to the Wolverines title. And just the Wolverines are continuing to put up runs. The offense has been hot, and so have these guys, Johnny Slater and Kendall Patrick. Kendall Patrick, we mentioned, homered in that Big Ten tournament, homered here today, and another extra base hit by Kendall Patrick. He's performing out of that number 9 role.
Now the jack of all trades, Jacob Cronenworth up to the plate, looking to extend this lead. Breaking ball outside for pitch 1 to Cronenworth.
2 John Olerud Award semifinalists facing off. Cronenworth unable to make the finalist listing, but his counterpart, Elliot Ashbeck, was.
Ashbeck sets, checks the runner, delivers. If it's fair, it's gone. Just foul down the right field line for Jacob Cronenworth. Put a good swing on that one.
Yeah, just got a little bit too far ahead of that one. It was an 88-mile-per-hour fastball, and the lefty jumped on it, but pulled it just a little bit too far foul down the first base line.
Ashbeck receiving the signs. Kendall Patrick taking his lead. Ashbeck set. The delivery to Cronenworth. Cronenworth hits a tapper down the first base line, and that rolls foul harmlessly. That'll bring the count to 1-2 for Jacob Cronenworth.
As we mentioned, busy train yard here. Already train number 4. We're in the 4th inning.
I'm actually pretty sure this is train number 5. So
we'll keep the train tally here.
Ashbeck delivers on the 1-2. Inside, 2-2. You got the over-under on the train for today. I got it at 7.5. What are you taking?
I'm taking the over.
Taking the over. That's a pretty safe bet at this point. Still early on in this one. Top of the 4th. No outs. Kendall Patrick on second for the Wolverines. Cronenworth, the 2-2. Ashbeck delivers. Short. Did he go? No. Cronenworth with the check swing. Wasn't close, but Carlisle decided to see if Darren Hyman down there at third had anything to say about it, but no go for the Braves. And Cronenworth evens this up to 3-2. May see a hit and run here.
I'd be really surprised with Kendall Patrick. That's not the fleetest of foot.
No, but Cronenworth, he'll take care of that. Sends one up the middle, and it looks like he picks up a single today, and that'll boost his average up a little bit. And Patrick stopped at third. That ball is just too hard hit to center fielder Isaac Smith to get, like you said, Kendall Patrick, who's not the fleetest of foot, to get him home. Safe play, though. No outs. Runners on the corners for the Wolverines. And it looks like we're going to have ourselves a pitching change here. It's Coach Dominguez for the Braves gives Ashbeck the hook. Nice ovation for Ashbeck from the Bradley faithful.
Yeah, just didn't have his best stuff today. He was really rattled by the runners getting on base, and he ran into a hot offense at the wrong time. This offense has really just been scorching hot for all the month of May. He gives up 5 runs. He's also still responsible for the runners at the corners, so could have a pretty ugly final line. We'll let you know when that's complete, but new pitcher coming in to the lineup for the Braves. That's number 39, David Cole.
David Cole, the senior left-hander, is going to resume duties, but Ashbeck's still on the hook for Cronenworth and Patrick on first and third.
Yeah, David Cole, one of the top relievers for this Brave squad, but his last 2 times out, he has not pitched well. To be fair, it was against very good teams. He's faced Missouri State the last 2 times he's pitched in the tournament championship of the Missouri Valley Conference. Pitched 2 1/3 innings in relief of Elliot Ashbeck. Gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned. So 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, and took the loss in that championship game. In a previous visit to Missouri State, pitched 3 1/3, gave up 9 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned. Also took the loss in that one. 1 walk, no strikeouts. So the senior's been roughed up a little bit his last 2 times out, but that is a very good Missouri State team, so we'll cut him a little slack. But he's coming in here, and Wolverines threatening here. They got runners in the corners, nobody out.
6'3", 103, 80-pound lanky left-hander is looking to keep the Wolverines at bay here. Comes into a tough spot, though. No outs. Runners on the corners. Cronenworth may be looking to swipe a bag here.
Yeah, we see Wolverines, when there's 2 outs and there's running in the corners, you see that the men on first take off a lot, but you don't want to run yourself into and out on the base paths. We could see him try and do it to escape a double play, but Jake Bivens hasn't hit into a lot of those, and he does have good speed. We'll see what Coach Beck decides to do here. That play is very common with 2 outs, but with nobody out, I expect that Cronenworth will stay where he is for now. He is dancing around a little bit.
First pitch for Cole. Ball low to Jake Bivens. Ben, 333 on the year. 224 with runners in scoring position. Cronenworth takes a lead. Stealing out lefty is tough, too, so you might not see it out. You might see a hit and run play in effect, but the 0-1 way outside. Bivens now facing a 2-0 count.
The lefty Cole has an interesting delivery. He kind of hesitates in the middle, shows the ball to the batter a little bit before following through with the rest of the delivery. A slight hesitation in his windup.
2-0, set, deliver. That's a strike on the outside corner. Fastball at 84 miles an hour. Not an overpowering fastball from Cole, but we'll see if he's got some breaking ball action, a little bit of junk to throw to these Michigan hitters who just continue to stay hot. 2-1 count to Bivens, running around the corners. High, ball 3. 3-1 count, and Bivens has worked himself into a very favorable hitter's count here. Yeah. Left fielder, way off that line still. And maybe go a little bit opposite field here. Bivens flies straight to the left fielder. Didn't have to move very much, but that's enough to get Kendall Patrick in from third and give Bivens an RBI. And the Michigan Wolverines extend their lead 6-1. 1 out, top of the fourth.
Yeah.
David Cole on the mound, and Cronenworth stays on first.
Yeah, just a routine ball out to Gruner, as you mentioned, playing well off the line as he has all game long, but that time it was hit right at him. It was a good pitch to hit, and he had a good hitter's count, 3-1, but does get the job done. That's what you're supposed to do when there's runner at third and less than 2 outs. So get another insurance run on the board for the Wolverines.
Jackson Glines, who made an excellent play in center field last half inning at the plate. First pitch to Glines is a breaking ball that broke from the middle of the zone to the outside. That'll go in for a ball, 1-0. And let's see if Glines, when you make a big play in the field, you see it all the time where they make a big play at the plate. Bull checking Cronenworth. Gives a tricky lefty throw over, but Cronenworth back in time.
Yeah, we saw that with Isaac Smith in the top of the first inning. He made a nice play crashing into the wall in center field and then singled in his first inning plate appearance.
Glines receives the 1-0. That's a breaking ball. Breaks in and back into the middle of the strike zone this time. Now going for a strike, 1-1.
And just, it's the first time I've ever seen Cole pitch, but it seems that whenever he throws the breaking ball, he hesitates a little bit more in that windup. And you think that would tip off the batters a lot.
And if we can detect that up here, I'm sure Coach Bakich is all over that down in the Michigan dugout. The 1-1 was low and away to Glines. I'll bring up the count 2-1. Cole not paying much attention over to Cronenworth at first.
He is a threat to steal 11 for 20 on the year. Does have very good speed. Hasn't picked his spots that well this year.
The 2-1. High and outside, but gets the call from Mascaro. That'll even the count up 2-2. 1 out. Cronenworth on first. Jackson Glines at the plate. The 2-2 low and away. 3-2. Full count to Jackson Glines.
They'll loosen up Cronenworth over at first base. And when you give Cronenworth a running jump, a single would easily get him to third, and a double would probably score him.
I would like to see him put the runner in motion, and he does. He goes, but Jackson Glines fouls off the payoff pitch. Cronenworth was on the move on the pitch, so he probably won't be now that David Cole's tipped off, only being 1 out in the inning.
Yeah, I still like the chances here. I think Cronenworth's still probably going to be in motion. Maybe Glines can square up a ball here, hit it to a gap.
Cole gives a lazy throw over to first. Cronenworth back in, standing up.
Yeah, as we've covered earlier, Glines 0 for 2 on the day. Both of those long fly ball outs deep to center field, but just able to find his spots.
The payoff pitch delivers. Runner on the move. Cronenworth, he'll get to second in time. Nice sliding play by second baseman Godinez in short right field and gets Glines out at first. Very nice athletic play from the Bradley second baseman. But Glines will advance the runner Cronenworth to second. And now that brings up number 43, Carmen Benedetti, who we know this kid can hit. So moving that runner over to second was a pretty big play, and that was helped by the hit and run.
Yeah, Cronenworth was on the move on that payoff pitch, and I think either way, the only possible play for Godinez was to go to first. He was moving well to his left, and they would have really difficult to turn and fire to the covering shortstop Leffler.
The first pitch to Benedetti was low fastball at 86. That's a ball, 1-0.
So really no chance at an ending double play. Cronenworth able to move up into scoring position, and perhaps the Big Ten RBI leader, as Zach Shaw likes to call him Mr. RBI, can add to his total.
Benedetti crouching, bat resting on the shoulder. Cole set, delivers. Another pitch that grabs the high and outside corner of the plate. That'll be a strike, 1-1 for Benedetti and David Cole as they battle off here with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Michigan's already scratched across 2 to extend their lead to 6-1. Cronenworth on second, though, and Benedetti looking to get another. The 1-1 delivers. High fly ball to left field. Lazy pop-up for Gruner. Makes the catch and retires Benedetti and the Wolverines, but not before they can strike for 2. This is WCBN Sports covering the NCAA regionals here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, Wolverines just able to keep getting it done. And once again, it's that bottom part of the lineup. Slater gets on, then he steals second. Kendall Patrick with his second extra base hit of the day doubles home Slater, and then the Wolverines are able to get get Patrick home with a sacrifice fly. So just after Bradley Braves threatened in that previous inning in the bottom of the third, they look they're going to get right back in this ball game. Wolverines come back with 2 more, and they have a commanding 6-1 lead.
And this Michigan team, they can keep tacking on runs. And hopefully they can follow suit with the softball and protect a nice lead to go the distance in this one and square off tomorrow at 4 against the winner of Louisville and Morehead State. And it looks like Matt Ogden's earned himself another inning out on the mound.
Yeah, I'm sure the Wolverines will continue to get pitchers loose out in that left field bullpen. But as of now, Matt Ogden's sitting right at 60 pitches, so perhaps has 1, 2, or maybe even 3 if he's really quick innings in the tank. But I'm expecting perhaps if he goes long in this inning, this could be his last, or if he gets a quick inning, comes out for 1 more. I think Coach Beck would be really happy if he can get 4 or 5 innings out of the starter Matt Ogden. He does have a rested bullpen. They haven't played since last Sunday, but he does want to keep it as fresh as he can as we move forward into this double elimination. They could be playing as many as 4 or 5 games this weekend.
I would imagine Ogden would have a short leash here because he got into early trouble last inning, but hopefully he stays out of this trouble. And Michigan up 6-1, bottom of 4. Ogden to face Carlisle, Kristen, and Leffler. 5, 6, 7. First pitch to Carlisle. Followed straight back. That one would have landed right in the press box if not for the protective netting. That's why they put it there, folks.
I was looking for a souvenir. I don't think it would have made it quite to us. Looked like it would have maybe made it to our counterparts over at the Michigan Daily and the Michigan Sports Information Director, Kent Reichart.
0-1 count to Carlisle. Breaking ball. Change up. Gets a swing and a miss on the lower outside part of the plate to the right-hander, Carlisle. That'll give him 0-2. And curveball, especially the way he's been commanding it lately, would not be out of the question here for Ogden. Matt Ogden delivers 0-2. Gives him the curveball. Just gets a chopper to short. Nice play by Bivens to scoop it up and quickly fire over to Benedetti at first. That'll be the first out of the inning for Matt Ogden. And 1, 2, 3 pitches, and he gets himself a first out, getting that quick inning like you were talking about, Andrew.
Yeah, I think he's hungry he's making the push for 6. He wants to stay out there for a bit and gets the out in 3 pitches. Does exactly what you're supposed to do, get ahead 0-2, and he doesn't get the strikeout. Gets a ground ball and easy play, trusts his defense.
Ian Kristen, the DH, up to the plate. Takes a fastball low. 255 season hitter for Ian Kristen. Lefty. 1-0. Shot to the first base line, fielded fairly by Benedetti. Smart play by Benedetti to scoop that one up because it was a close play down the line, and played it safe than sorry and got the out. One pitch out for Matt Ogden, and he could have himself a very quick inning here and really just turn it back over to the Michigan Bats and let them keep putting up runs.
Yeah, just great positioning there by Benedetti. He gets exactly where he needs to go and able to keep that one fair, as you mentioned. Able to make a nice play. That's the advantage of being a lefty first baseman, able to feel it with his right hand on the inside and just makes the play unassisted.
The first pitch to Tyler Leffler, a changeup that comes in for a strike, 0-1. Leffler batting 192 on the season, so you'd really like to see Ogden really come out and attack him.
Yeah, Leffler 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out to the third baseman, Travis Mazes, his first time up. That was in the second.
Ogden's fastball on the 0-1 just missed outside. We've seen that called for a strike a few times. And I think we heard some gripes and groans from the Michigan bench, but nonetheless, Danny Mascaro calls it a ball. 1-1 for Tyler Leffler. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the same spot as the last one. This time called a strike. That'll be 1-2 for Matt Ogden.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see what he throws here. If he tries to overpower with a fastball like he did earlier in the game, or if he goes with the breaking ball like he has later.
I'm looking for fastball here.
We'll see. 1-2. Fastball pops him straight up. That one will get foul into the protective netting again. Rolls harmlessly back down on the field of play.
Yeah, an interesting concoction they have here. A lot of almost every baseball stadium has that protective netting right behind home plate straight away, especially at Ray Fisher. But they have a extra piece of netting connecting the roof to the top of that normal level of netting, and that just allows a lot of the fly balls to roll back onto the field of play. Obviously, they're ruled foul already.
Ogden, the 1-2. Curveball gets a line out to center field. Glines casually drifts under it, makes the catch. And 1-2-3 for Matt Ogden as he makes quick work of the Bradley Braves in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, he has got a very quick inning, as you mentioned, sitting at only 70 pitches. So I think he perhaps has 2 more. He looked really comfortable in that inning, and I think that's by virtue of who he was facing in the lineup. He ran into a little trouble with the top of the lineup, then was able to retire the heart of the order. Impressive performance last inning, get out of the jam against the top of the heart of the order, and face the 5, 6, 7 hitters. And when you face guys that are batting under 200 a year, you just got to make quick outs of them. That's what he's done, and he's earned himself definitely another inning, perhaps even 2 more, but we won't get too ahead of ourselves. And now Michigan Bats are going to try and pick up right where they left off. They've been looking really good.
And now we'll get to see a full inning of work out of David Cole. We can really see what he has to offer for the Bradley Braves. But back to Ogden, the more runs that Michigan puts up, I feel the longer the leash it gets for Ogden, because like you were talking about the bullpen, while they are fresh, you want to keep them as fresh as possible because Michigan could be playing 4 or 5 games in this regional.
And we'll take this time to update you on a few scores around the NCAA baseball world. Charleston and Auburn are in extra innings. It's the top of the 10th. Those teams are tied at 6. Arkansas is leading Oral Roberts 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Columbia leading 6-3 against East Carolina in the top of the 6th. In the Florida regional, South Florida is leading Florida Atlantic 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. California leads 6-1 over Coastal Carolina in the bottom of the 8th. Wright State trails Notre Dame 7-6 in the bottom of the 8th. And Big Ten counterpart Iowa leads Oregon 2-1 in the top of the 5th.
Bruder Mazes White here to start off the top of the 5th. And Cody Bruder, who has himself a hit and a run to his name today already, takes the first pitch. High, ball 1. Second pitch. Fastball outside, way outside actually. Give him 2-0. Cody Bruder waiting on the 2-0. Gets it. Fastball low and outside again. And David Cole coming out with some command issues early.
Not that I know of.
David Cole delivers. And a 4-pitch walk for Cody Bruder. And That's the last thing Coach Dominguez wants to see for the Bradley Braves. Just more traffic on the base paths. Now Travis Mazes is up to the plate with Bruder on first. 7 stolen bases for Bruder, so not likely to see anything out of him, but Mazes hitless today, except he does have a sacrifice, fly out to left, but takes a breaking ball back door for a strike. 0-1. David Cole getting ahead early in this one as compared to the 4-pitch walk to Cody Bruder. The 0-1 delivers. Breaking ball inside to the middle. Give him another strike. 0-2 on Travis Mazes. Now he's just looking to battle. Cody Bruder, conservative lead at first with the lefty Cole on the mound.
He's not going anywhere.
Cole checks him, delivers. Fastball high and outside, 1-2 count to Travis Mazes, the third baseman.
Yeah, Cole works mainly in the mid-80s. We've seen him about 84, 86 in the fastball. Did hit 88 on the gun in that last one, but really makes his money with that breaking ball.
The 1-2. Breaking ball broke early in the dirt at the plate. 2-2 count for Travis Mazes.
Yeah, you can tell Bruder, the way he's taking those cautious leads and even a very cautious secondary lead. He's not trying to get picked off, just willing to run and get moved up on the base paths if Travis Mazes can do something with the bat here.
2-2. Mazes flies one to center. It's tailing, and Smith makes another nice play out there, tracking it down using his speed on a line drive that was tailing away as a product of coming off a left-handed bat and the wind, which is now blowing more from right field to left straight across. Isaac Smith makes another nice play out there in center to record the out. F8 for those of you scoring at home with us here at WCBN.
Yeah, really just a good read on the ball right off the bat. He knew where that one was going and just got up to not quite to top speed, but makes a good running catch there.
Kevin White now at bat for the Michigan Wolverines. Takes the first pitch. Strike outside corner of the plate. Bruder still at first. David Cole looks like he's settling in after that 4-pitch walk. Just need a few more warm-ups. Cole, the 0-1. High, 1-1.
Kevin White 1 for 2 on the day. Drove in a run in the second inning with that opposite field RBI single. Also had a fielder's choice in the third.
The 1-1. Cole checks the runner. Curveball taken down the right field line. About 5 or 6 feet foul. Softly hit. That'll go down as a strike in the books. 1-2 now for Kevin White.
Yeah, almost another nice piece of opposite field hitting there. Weber, the right fielder, playing very deep, as this is a big ballpark here at Jim Patterson Stadium, and playing deep, and that probably would have been extra bases, perhaps even scores Bruder.
The 1-2. Cole sets, checks runner, throws to first. Bruder back there with plenty of time to spare.
Yeah, not a comfortable pickoff move by Cole by any means.
No, it looks very awkward out of the left-hander, which is kind of odd because you see lefties make that throw quite easily a lot of times.
Yeah, I think that's his 2 move. I think just trying to show he's keeping an eye on him.
The 1-2 just missed the outside corner. 2-2 for Kevin White.
That one looked close based on how Mascara was calling the strike zone. Just a lot of casual reactions. Kevin White didn't think it was close, and Carlisle did not hold it for an extra beat. I thought he would have at least done it there to try and frame that one, but nonetheless, 2-2.
2-2 to White. White drives one foul. No, stays fair, stays in territory, and right fielder Weber drifts under it. It looked like a product of the wind kept that one in play. I thought that was a long foul down the right field line, but blown back in, and out number 2 for the Michigan Wolverines. And now Johnny Slater up to the plate.
Yeah, I think you are indeed right. The wind is, as we mentioned, it's been strong all game, probably about 10 miles an hour, but it's blowing very consistently, probably up even to about 15-mile-an-hour range, and blowing right from right field to left field. And I think that one really just got pushed over. It looked like it was going to land in the Bradley bullpen, but instead it is a out just into foul territory. He is about 10 feet of foul territory to work with over there, and he was about 1 or 2 feet onto it, and Bruder was not able to tag up from first.
Johnny Slater up to the plate, takes the first pitch. Strike right down the middle, fastball at 85. Comes in at the belt to Johnny Slater.
Slater's looked really good today, as we mentioned. He's back on the way up at the plate. Had a sacrifice fly in the second inning and a single before coming around to score in the fourth.
The 0-1, Cole delivers. And a quick turn bunt, Slater. Slater is going to beat it out. No one covering the bag. Godinez looked like he got caught watching at second base, and Johnny Slater put his speed to good use and turned around for a quick bunt. No one saw that coming, and that'll move Bruder up to second, Slater to first, and now Kendall Patrick, who's on a hot streak today at least, is looking to pick up a few more RBIs with a runner in scoring position. And if he can put one in the corner with the speed of Slater, it really wouldn't be a surprise to see two come around if one gets in there deep.
Yeah, Kendall Patrick will consult with head coach Eric Bakich before stepping in that righty batter's box. And what a nice play there by Slater. Goes to 2 for 2 on the day. Also has that sacrifice fly. And as I mentioned, when he's on, he can be a true 5-tool player. He's showing off everything so far today.
David Cole sets, runners on first and second. Delivers the first pitch to Kendall Patrick. Kendall Patrick swings through it, fouls it off straight back. Off speed. The gun says 57, but
I think that was the return throw. It also picks up the catcher's return throw.
Good return throw speed, by the way, by the catcher Carlisle.
Yeah, those can be tricky because they can come right back up, especially when the umpire just hands them the ball before the foul ball has even landed.
The 0-1 to Kendall Patrick. Kendall Patrick checks his swing, gets it back in time. That'll be a ball high. 1-1.
Now, we've seen a lot of breaking balls from David Cole. It's been inconsistent, I guess that's the best way to put it. Sometimes it's looked devastating. Other times, just like that, doesn't have a lot of break.
No, he kind of hanged it up there, and it's not what you want to do as a pitcher. The 1-1. That breaking ball again, low in the zone. And like you said, very inconsistent with that breaking ball. Sometimes he throws it for strikes, and other times, it seems the times he doesn't throw for strikes, he misses badly with it.
Yeah, there's really no in between. He hasn't done the best job with a consistent delivery. It seems like a little bit of differences in his delivery to home plate each time.
2-1 delivery, fastball, low, 86 miles an hour.
You want to be keeping a consistent path with your hand and following the same keyhole out of it, and as he delivers, and it seems like it's just been tweaked a little bit back and forth. The catcher Carlisle hasn't seen anything, and obviously he's going to know his pitcher better than I do. It's the first time I've ever seen Cole, but he doesn't look the most consistent delivery, and as a result, not consistent breaking balls here.
3-1 to Patrick, and it misses just outside, and he'll walk the bases loaded, and now he turns it over to this deadly top of the lineup for the Michigan Wolverines, who's quite frankly due today.
Yeah, really. Jacob Cronenworth has looked good, but Bivens and Glein sitting in those 2 and 3 holes, they're 0 for 4 on the day. So Cronenworth 2 for 3, singled his last 2 times up. Those are in the second and the fourth after a fly out to lead off the game. Nice running catch by Smith, and that might be the end of the day, or at least we'll see a coaching conference on the mound for the Bradley Braves. They already trail 6-1, and they don't want to let this game get any further out of hand. That's going to be assistant head coach Larry Scully. He's in his first year at Bradley. He's going to head out and try and settle down Cole here. There are pitchers warming up. I believe there's pitchers warming up. I think they're just getting loose. I see pitchers getting loose, but no one's throwing in that bullpen. Also, no one throwing in the Wolverines bullpen, so expect to see Matt Ogden return for the bottom of the fifth. So this will just be a mound conference, quite an extensive mound conference, and maybe the coach is seeing the same thing I am, is that as he motions to his elbow as he consults with David Cole, that it's just not the coming out with a consistent delivery. And we saw the hesitation on some of these pitches, and we've seen just not quite following the same motion the time. So Cole's been lucky not to give up too many runs. He's not responsible for actually any of the runs given up in this game, but he's given up a lot of base runners in just inning and 2/3 pitch. So he's in quite a jam here, and Cronenworth's going to try and make him pay.
He's responsible for Bruder, Slater, and Patrick in that order on the bases. Cronenworth up to the plate, looking to drive in a few more. The first pitch. Fastball strike inside half of the plate. 0-1. And it's odd to see mechanical problems out of a senior.
Yeah, definitely surprising.
0-1 for Cronenworth. Cole delivers. And it glanced the left shoulder of Cronenworth. Right shoulder of Cronenworth, him being a lefty. And that hit by pitch, HBP, will bring in the run. And Michigan gets one across here. Not the way they want to do it, but they'll take every run they can get.
Yeah, that was a really, I guess you could say, weak hit by pitch. It was a breaking ball that just hung in there, glanced his shoulder, as you mentioned, and
a hard hit ground ball by Bivens right to the shortstop Leffler, and he flips it over to Godinez for the out. That'd be a put out. That'd be 6-4 in the scorebook, and that'll end the inning. Wolverines threaten for a lot, but only get a little. 1 run for them in the top of the 5th. They lead 7-1 here in Louisville. WCBN Sports.
Yeah. Going back to that hit by pitch, if I'm home plate umpire Danny Mascaro, I'm just putting him back in the box and saying, you didn't make enough effort to get out of that. You did get hit by it, but he just really didn't make any effort to get out of the way. I was really surprised he was awarded a base. And, even though the ruling isn't supposed to change based on the situation, especially with the bases loaded, you can't really punish a pitcher for that. And I know the rules aren't supposed to change based on the situation, but they're all humans too. The umpires are too. And I was really surprised that he awarded him the bag. Nonetheless, the Wolverines will take the run. Disappointing at bat by Bivens as he moves to 0 for 3 on the day with a ground out. But Wolverines will take one more run and hand it back over to Matt Ogden as he takes them out for his 5th inning of work.
Like you said, with the hit by pitch, the umpire maybe should have said something. And I don't think you would have saw any protest out of Cronenworth there, because bases loaded, 2 outs in NCAA regional. You don't want to be telling the grandkids that you got hit by pitch for a run coming in. You want to tell them about the double you smacked to the wall, and every ball player wants to hit up there. So, but worst case scenario, you got an RBI out of the deal. And like you said, we have Matt Ogden back on the mound. Pitch count at 70 after making quick work of the Braves last inning. Now he's facing 8-9-1 for the Braves in Gruner, Weber, and Godinez. And if he can make quick work out of this inning here, we may see him back for one more.
Yeah, no one warming up yet for the Wolverines. We did see Jaski and a mystery right here getting loose.
Ogden throws a big bender that busts in there for strike.
Oh, what a nice pitch there. His breaking ball has been on today.
Gruner takes the 0-1. High and outside. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Ogden. Ogden winds up, delivers the 1-1. Swing and a miss. That'll move the count up to 1-2. Gruner way behind that fastball at 87.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much of that fastball from the early innings as we did from Matt Ogden. That time he pulls out his bag of tricks, and Gruner wasn't ready for it.
The 1-2, breaking ball, breaks back in. That's strike 3, got him looking. Evan Gruner goes down without a fight. That's 1 out for Matt Ogden. Give him 5 Ks on the day.
And what's striking is a number of them have been looking. he's just done a really good job freezing these Braves batters, and this haven't even offered up for a number of these strikeouts.
Carson Weber at the plate. Single today. Takes the first pitch, way high and outside.
Yeah, the third inning was really the defining inning for Ogden so far. He gave up a leadoff single to Weber, then allowed Godinez to reach on a single as well, and he was in trouble. Runners at first and second. The Wolverines started to get pitchers loose in the bullpen, but he able to get out of that inning facing the heart of the lineup, and that was a big turnaround point for the Wolverines. They've added 3 runs since and now lead 7-1.
The 1-0 pitch was low for a ball, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, high and outside. We've seen him go high and outside on fastballs 3 times already this inning. Could be some arm slot problems.
Yeah, he's starting to show signs of wear and tear. He's right about 77 pitches.
The 3-0. 4-pitch walk for Carson Weber, and he turns it over. Runner on first, 1 out for the top of the lineup. Godinez, who's having a good year this year, batting 300, OBP 500, slugging percentage 521, and 12 for 16 on stolen bases.
Yeah, Weber's is not a guy you want to walk. Batting 218 on the year, 50 strikeouts against 14 walks. That's walk number 15 on the year.
Ogden's first pitch to Godinez was a fastball strike, outer half of the plate. 0-1 count.
Weber average to above average speed. Not much of a base stealing threat, only 2 on the year.
Oh, a check swing hit back to Ogden, and Ogden turned around to fire it to second to try and double him up, but no one home, and thankfully Cronenworth was back far enough to receive it. Everyone's safe on a play that should have been at least 1.
Yeah, the middle infield was not ready for that. Neither Cronenworth or Bibbins were anywhere near the bag, and as I mentioned, Weber does have speed, so he's able to get off of first base as soon as that ball was hit. And I definitely think Ogden should have gone to first base. Benedetti was covering there, and they could have gotten at least 1 out, but instead.
And with a 7-1 lead in the middle part of the game, you really should be just looking to record outs. Nothing you can do about it now. Weber and Godinez on second and first. First pitch to the speedy Isaac Smith. Breaking ball low and outside.
And now, again, the Wolverines will get pitchers loose. It's going to be Donnie Eden, Oliver Jaski. Eden the righty, Jaski the lefty.
Ogden sets. Checks the runner at second. Isaac calls time. Now, with a speedy runner like Isaac Smith, he may be looking to put a bunt down that third base line where Travis Mazes is playing quite relaxed.
Yeah, there's not a good place to play if you're Travis Mazes because you got to be able to watch out for the runner on second.
The 1-0 strike on the outside half of the plate, 1-1.
You also have to be worried of that bunt by Smith, so Mazes might be caught in the middle here. We'll see if Smith is swinging away here. He is a good hitter, batting 327 on the year, 1 for 2 on the day.
Ogden sets, fires, foul tip, right back into the glove of catcher Kendall Patrick. 1-2 is the count on Isaac Smith.
Yeah, Wolverines have a comfortable 7-run lead, but they cannot relax here. Bradley has shown that they can put some runs up on the board, and they'd like to get out of this inning with allowing limited damage here.
Matt Ogden sets. Delivers. Fastball just misses the outside black of the plate. We've seen that one called for a strike today from Danny Mascaro from behind the plate. And
yeah, that was a tricky frame job. You could see Patrick just shift the glove up a little bit. A little low.
The 2-2 gets him on a changeup on the outside black of the plate. Another backwards K in the books for the Bradley Braves. And Matt Ogden, of late, has just been fooling these Bradley hitters.
Yeah, you really got to wonder Isaac Smith how he just doesn't even offer that. The last 2 times he's just struck out looking, and he got perhaps away with that one. A frame job by Kendall Patrick failed as he lifted the glove up and tried to trick Mascaro, but that one was a no-doubter, easily a strike, and Smith didn't even offer at it.
Spencer Gay, who leads the team in batting average, first pitch, pops it up. And what a play by Bivens out there. Had to track it all the way from shortstop into shallow, actually a little farther than shallow left field, considering the fact that Kevin White was playing so far into the gap.
Yeah, Kevin, go ahead.
Makes the catch, and that'll be out number 3. And Bradley Braves threaten, but do not score. Turns it over to the top of the 6th. Wolverines lead 7-1.
Yeah, Kevin White playing very deep. As you mentioned, Gay, the biggest power hitter in this Bradley Braves lineup. And Kevin White was playing well off the line as both teams have had their left fielders positioned. And Bivens almost had another defensive miscue. That one would have been almost certainly an error. But he was able to track it down. He laid out, hit the ground for it, but you got to do what you got to do. With the runners in motion with 2 outs, that would have probably scored a run, if not more, if that one had fallen. But Bivens makes the catch, a little shaky once again in the field, but able to get it done. And once again, Ogden were able to work out of trouble. We'll see if he returns for inning number 6. He is sitting right at 86 pitches. So we'll see. I think you might bring him back for one more. You got the most dangerous hitter in this lineup, so you're going to be facing Soka Carlisle Christian if you do come back out. We'll see what the move here is from head coach Eric Beck. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start that inning if he runs into any trouble whatsoever. You bring in your reliever. You got Donnie Eaton and Oliver Jaskey ready to go. So I think we'll see him at least start the inning and then get pulled with a very quick hook in the 6th inning.
That's the exact same move I would do, just because we've seen really in the middle of the order, Ogden has made quick work of those batters. So I'd like to see him come out and try to get another inning, save your bullpen a little bit more. Jackson Glines leads off for the Wolverines here in the top of the 6th. Takes the first pitch. Inside, ball 1. Glines, Benedetti, Bruder due up for the Wolverines. David Cole still on the mound for the Braves. Cole delivers. Fastball in there for a strike. 84 miles an hour. 1-1 count to Jackson Glines, the center fielder, who has yet to record a hit today. 2 flyouts to the center fielder and a ground out to second base. David Cole, throws a fastball and another flyout to the center fielder for Jackson Glines. He's been squaring up the ball, hitting it right back where it came from, but just has nothing to show for it.
Well, one thing he does have to show for is his amazing catch out in center field. That was a web gem indeed. He already was the #1 play on SportsCenter last week for his great diving catch against Indiana. And then I think he could be up there again today. There obviously is a lot of baseball being played throughout the country, so we'll see where that places him. But nonetheless, a spectacular play, really helping out the cause.
Benedetti takes the first pitch he sees, pulls it right down the first base line, but Solka's there to scoop it up and record the put out. G3.
Yeah, after Cole really struggled, or after Cole struggled against the righties in the bottom of this lineup, he also gave up that bunt single to Slater, so not really swinging away there, but he struggled against the bottom of this lineup. He recorded the 4 outs in a row against the lefties at the top of this lineup. So the lefty is dominating the Wolverines lefties. Now he's going to face a righty here in Cody Bruder.
Cody Bruder takes the first one real tight, has to turn away from it. Ball 1.
Bruder 1 for 2 on the day. Singled in the second and came around to score.
The 1-0. Bounce that one about 59 feet, and Cody Bruder will grab it as it pops back up to his eye level. Hands it over to Carlisle.
Wind has died down a little bit, still moving a little bit, going from right to left, but it's died down just about 5 miles an hour.
David Cole, the 2-0. A hard hit ball that was just tailed foul down the third base line. Third base umpire Darren Hyman had to jump out of the way for that one. Good call by the third base umpire, though, to avoid that ball and still be able to make the correct call.
Yeah, just a little bit out ahead of that one. And as I mentioned, he's been hard hit by these righties and continues to get solid contact there, unable to get it in the field of play. But with Gruner playing so far off the line, that would have been an easy double for Cody Bruder.
2-1 to Bruder. Bruder goes right down the third base line again.
And you got to admire the hustle from Mac Lozier. Every time there's been a foul ball down in the left field corner, he's just booked it down there and flipped it over to the fence to the few Michigan fans, the young Michigan fans standing out there beyond the left field wall. They already got a souvenir in the Kendall Patrick home run ball, and they've gotten quite a few souvenirs by courtesy of Mac Lozier.
The 2-2 fouled down the third base line again. Cody Bruder trying to take this one into left field with Gruner playing so far off the line. Spells extra bases. Cody Bruder can smell it. Just wants to put one there. David Cole at 4.76 ERA. Delivers the 2-2. And a hard line shot at the shortstop. Tries to backhand it. Can't deliver on the backhand. And that'll pop up and fall harmlessly into shallow left field. That's a base hit for Cody Bruder.
Yeah, that would have been quite a spectacular play by Leffler. Is able to snag it. It's a sinking line drive. He has to move to his right to try and make it. Does knock it down, but then just knocks it straight up in the air, actually. And he couldn't find it. Fell right behind him, probably about 5 feet away, and would have had a difficulty making the play anyway. So there's a 2-out single for Cody Bruder. It will be ruled a single, not an error.
Cody Bruder leads off, and a hard line shot from Mazes finds the gap. That one will bounce against the wall. Bruder comes all the way from first. He's trying to score. There's a play at the plate. He slides, doesn't touch the plate, but the ball gets away from catcher Carlisle, and that is a RBI double off the bat of Travis Mazes, who finds his first hit of the day.
So joining in the hitting fun as the bottom 5 hitters in this Wolverines lineup have combined for 8 hits. That's an impressive performance. And that one was smoked to the right center field gap. Bruder hustled around the bases as he got all the way from first. If the throw had been on, or the throw was on line, but just got away from Carlisle. And as you mentioned, Bruder missed the bag. He would have been tagged out rather easily, but Carlisle unable to make a play on the ball. Cole was backing it up, so, Mazes wasn't able to move up anymore, but another run for the Wolverines and just more extra base power, especially from the bottom part of this lineup.
Once again, Travis Mazes he's had some hard hit balls today.
That one finally finds the right spot.
Mazes a righty himself, so Cole continues to struggle against righties as right-handed batter Kevin White comes up, and he hits a little pop single. That might be a Texas leaguer, but no, what a diving catch out in center field by Isaac Smith. Maybe fooled by the hit at first, but uses his speed to recover nicely, and what a web gem out there by Smith to dive, and he comes up limping. Something to certainly keep your eye on, for as the Bradley Braves would hate to see someone of his caliber go down.
Yeah, the trainer will make a brisk jog out there to check on Isaac Smith. He's a little shaken up, but another nice play by Isaac Smith. None of his plays have quite matched his counterpart Jackson Glines' amazing diving catch on the warning track in center field, but he's made a number of solid plays himself. He's tracked down all of Jackson Glines' balls off his bat, 3 flyouts from the center fielder to center fielder, and also made a nice charge on that one. He made a nice play on Cronworth's fly ball in the very first batter of the game for the Wolverines. So Smith still limping as he heads back to the Bradley dugout. He'll get a hand from one of his teammates. Mike Reisner will go out to greet him and make sure he's all right.
As Led Zeppelin comes across the PA system here at Jim Patterson Stadium, Matt Ogden finds his way back onto the mound. 86 pitch count for Matt today, 6 Ks, 1 earned run, 1 walk. He's looking to add to that K total.
Yeah, the Wolverines have been all year right around the middle of the Big Ten in terms of team ERA, but right at the top in terms of strikeouts. They're a strikeout-heavy staff. We've seen Brett Adcock absolutely dealing, especially in his last 3 outings. He's pitched 3 times since the including the regular season finale against Oklahoma State. He had quite a few strikeouts, and Matt Ogden has picked up right where he left off. Matt Ogden up to 40 strikeouts in the year and only 49 innings pitched, so almost a strikeout per inning. And here he is, 6 Ks in 5 innings so far as he starts his 6th inning of work.
WCBN Sports live from Louisville, Kentucky, broadcasting the NCAA regional game between the Michigan Wolverines and the Bradley Braves. First pitch from Ogden to Solka, ball low and away. Ogden faces 4, 5, 6, the meat of this Bradley lineup in Solka, Carlisle, and Kristen. The 1-0. Changeup outside half the plate. Strike. 1-1 count to Paul Solka. 284 on the season, but 473 when leading off. Ooh, fastball high and tight into Solka. Grabbed 88 on the gun. That would have been painful to wear that one on the shoulder for the right-handed batter.
Yeah, Sokol able to get out of the way of that one. He does own the lone RBI for the Bradley Braves in the day. That was a sacrifice fly back in the first inning.
Swing and foul tip into the glove for Solka. That'll put him at a 2-2 count.
He also struck out looking. That was in the third. One of the many numerous strikeout looking Matt Ogden has recorded on these Braves batters.
The 2-2 fly ball. That'll go harmlessly back into the stands. Finds an empty seat on the first base line.
And the Bradley Braves faithful in front of us down this first base line, they were rowdy during that first inning when the Braves jumped out to a 1-0 lead, but they've been quiet ever since.
Matt Ogden, the 2-2, breaking ball, low and away, full count. And I think Matt Ogden has a thing or two to do with the rowdiness of the Bradley Braves faithful here.
Yeah, really didn't even deserve to give up that run in the first inning.
The payoff pitch. Fly ball out to right field. Slater drifts under it casually. Record the out, F9. 1 out for Matt Ogden and the Wolverines here in the bottom of 6.
Wolverines don't have anyone warming up in that bullpen. We do know that Oliver Jaski and Donnie Eaton are loose if necessary, but right now this is Matt Ogden's game. We're in the 6th. He's at 93 pitches, so still a little bit of gas left in the tank. We see another pitcher going to warm up for the Braves.
Catcher Drew Carlisle now at the plate. Takes the first pitch. Fastball must have just missed outside. Carlisle takes the helmet off, wipes the sweat off his forehead, and waving the bat there in the plate, the righty takes the 1-0. Oh, big swing, big miss on a slow breaking ball out of Matt Ogden. What a pitch there by Ogden.
His breaking ball has been on today.
Carlisle was on his front foot, but now he takes the 1-1, fouls it straight back. Fastball at 88. You know, for throwing 93 pitches and being 5 1/3 into this game, he hasn't lost steam off his fastball at all. The 1-2, low strike. Got him looking. Another backwards K for Matt Ogden as Drew Carlisle walks back with visible disappointment. Didn't agree with the call from Danny Mascaro, but it's the way she goes sometimes. That's another backwards K in the books for Bradley Braves. And Coach Dominguez can't be too happy about all the ones looking.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You got to be furious if you're the coach for the Bradley Braves. Just all these strikeouts looking, not even offering a swing. You haven't had a postseason win since the 1950s. They've lost 11 postseason games in a row since they advanced to the College World Series back in the late 1950s.
Designated hitter Ian Kristen takes 2 quick balls. 2-0 count to him. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Michigan Wolverines lead the Bradley Braves 8-1.
Kristen 0 for 2 on the day.
Ogden winds up, delivers. Must have just missed low, a fastball. All 3. 3-0 count to Ian Kristen, and you'd really hate to see Ogden give up a walk here and just extend his pitch count even more. So Ogden trying to battle back, the 3-0. Wow, just missed the outside half of the plate. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk to Ian Kristen. 4-pitch walk, but there were some very close calls that could have went either way for Matt Ogden. No signs of activity. Kendall Patrick comes out to talk to Ogden.
Yeah, you got to think that Jasky and Eden are ready to go.
We saw Jasky out there twice today.
Mm-hmm. I believe we saw Eden too. I just couldn't identify who he was the first time.
Kristen takes the walk, and now shortstop Tyler Leffler comes up to the plate. Ogden sets, delivers. Gets a fly ball. Let's see if the wind will push that one back into the fair territory. It looks like it does, and Carmen Benedetti catches it harmlessly in foul territory on the first base side. That's the third out for the Wolverines, and they find themselves ahead 8-1 going into the top of the 7th.
And with 102 pitches, I think it's safe to assume Matt Ogden's day is done, but what a performance. If it is his final line, it will read quite spectacularly. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. That was earned back in the first inning. 2 walks against 7 strikeouts. Faced 25 batters and has retired 19 of them.
And you could see the confidence just keep growing with Matt Ogden today, especially after that first inning where maybe some pre-tournament jitters came to surface for the Wolverines, having a couple of defensive plays that they should have made and ended up giving up a run. But then after that, the defense has really looked solid, and a lot of Ks for Matt Ogden today.
And a lot of them have been looking. The Braves not even offered up at a lot of them, and as you mentioned, Coach Domingue is not pleased with that at all. When you're down 7 runs in the 6th inning of not an elimination game, but it's a playoff game, and you at least got to offer up, trust your ability and swing the bat. You can't be playing for walks when you're down 8-1. You need hits and you need them fast, and they just have been able to do that throughout the game. Just a lot of strikeouts looking. Wolverines will head back back into the batting circle. The 8-9-1 hitters due up. Slater, Patrick, and then Jacob Cronenworth at the top of the order.
Stings a little bit more considering that Michigan went with Ogden, who's their number 2, or not even in the weekend rotation. And Bradley went with their number 1 guy in Ashbeck and just wasn't able to give him any run support.
Yeah, this team they did face a very difficult schedule, Bradley, and they got the job done in the non-conference, but they just haven't been playing well, and you got to chalk that up to the quality of their opponents. And when you run into a hot team like the Michigan Wolverines, this is sometimes what you're going to see. It's a very good offense, and Ashbeck just didn't have his best stuff, and he really actually got roughed up. If you look at the final lines, he was responsible for 6 of those earned runs. Now we see a new pitcher coming in for the Bradley Braves. That's Alex Dottie. On the year, 3.60 ERA, 10 innings pitched, 10 hits, 6 runs, 4 of those earned, 7 strikeouts against 4 walks, has given up 2 doubles, his only extra base hit. So limited action for the right-hander here, and he's going to try and do cleanup duties and prevent any further damage. Bradley might be writing this one off as a loss and just trying to prevent any further taxation on their top guys in their bullpen. First pitch to Johnny Slater is a strike, and he has had quite a day so far, 2 for 2. Next pitch misses low and inside. Evens count at 1-1. Johnny Slater sacrificed fly in that second inning, drove in a run, singled up the middle in the 4th, came around to score. Also singled and was stranded at 3rd in that 5th inning. Next pitch is grounded to second base. Godinez scoops it up on a couple of skips, throws over to first base. There's a ground ball out for the first out of the top of the 7th. Johnny Slater is retired for the first time today.
Alex Doty, the redshirt sophomore out of Hoffman Estates, Illinois, went to Elgin High School, sociology major, 3.60 ERA, has career high in strikeouts 17 times with 2.
Yeah, hasn't pitched as much this year as you might expect. Doty, too, we don't know, maybe some injury problems. Doty delivers. Fastball strike. Hits 88 on the gun. Right about where all 3 Bradley Braves pitchers have been maxing out at. Kendall Patrick digs in. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Homered, doubled, and then walked. Takes the next pitch low. 1-1.
Kendall Patrick having himself a day at the plate. 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, responsible for 5 of 8 runs on the board.
Breaking ball misses up. That was perhaps a chance for Patrick to bid for home run number 2, but he just lets that one go by. That was 2-1.
That was a soft hanging breaking ball, and Doty got away with a mistake there.
2-1 delivery. Fastball misses outside. That one was close. Carlisle held it for an extra beat, but did not persuade Danny Mascaro. Here's the 3-1 delivery. That one's lifted foul down the left field line, well out of play. The other one, quite a ride. That one just kept going and going, just like his home run. I thought he was going to go maybe about halfway down the left field line, and that one was about 15 feet foul, but that one had home run distance on it.
The wind looks noticeably stronger than it was earlier, maybe up to consistently 15 miles an hour now.
Yeah, I think that one just got carried in the jet stream, and while it pushed it further foul than it already was, gave it a ride. It's nothing more than a long strike, and now the payoff pitch will be fouled off the other way this time. That's on the first base line. Count remains 3-2 on Kendall Patrick. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Michigan Wolverines lead the Bradley Braves 8-1. Doty delivers. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He gets a strikeout from Kendall Patrick. So Kendall Patrick is finally retired for the first time as well. The 8-9 hitters had quite a day for the Wolverines, but Doty able to come in and record them as the first 2 outs of this top of the 7th inning.
First strikeout of the day for the Michigan Wolverines, which kudos to them for putting the ball in play and trying to make things happen.
Now Jacob Cronenworth comes to the plate, 2 for 3 on the day. He'll take a strike in the outside corner. 0-1. He flew out to center in the first inning, then singled in the second, singled in the fourth before being hit by a pitch back in the 5th, then knocked in a run. Next pitch is dropped by catcher Carlisle. They'll level the count at 1-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Wind has picked up again. We mentioned that it almost had died down a little bit back in the middle innings, but now it's picked up again as it was in the early innings, blowing from right field to left. Next pitch is grounded. Godinez scoops it up, throws it out over to Solka at first base, and that's an easy inning for Doty out of the bullpen. Bradley Braves could have used that a little earlier. They get the Wolverines to go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. The Wolverines lead 8-1. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki on the call. We're here at Jim Patterson Stadium. It's stretch time here in Louisville, Kentucky, in the first game of a Louisville Regional. The 64-team NCAA tournament field will be whittled down to 16 by the end of this weekend, as there are 16 double elimination regionals. The 16 winners of those double elimination regionals will face off with a best 2 out of 3 series next week in Super Regional. If Louisville, being the number 3 overall national seed, if they're able to pick up the win in this regional, they'll be able to play again here next weekend. But right now, this is the match of the 2 versus 3 seeds, and right now the 3 seed Michigan Wolverines are getting better of the 2 seed Bradley Braves. They lead 8-1, and a rather surprising move. Matt Ogden back on the mound. He's at 102 pitches. What do you make of this?
I love the move by Coach Bakich here. Ogden, he's been mowing him down since really that 3rd inning. And why burn up the bullpen? Because you're not going to be able to use, at 102 pitches, you're not going to be able to use Ogden again for at least 2-3 more days. So if you can stretch him out 1 more inning, keep that bullpen fine, especially now that you're facing the 8-9-1 of the Bradley Braves. If he can get through quick, he would have just about locked up Player of the Game award, you would almost think.
Well, yeah, definitely some tough competition, though, from 8-9 hitters, Johnny Slater and Kendall Patrick. So we'll see whether that goes. And once again, the Wolverines now have 3 pitchers warming up, or at least they have 2 pitchers throwing in that bullpen down the left field line. That's Eden and Jaski, and then we also see it's Cam Wysocki just down there getting loose. But Matt Ogden is on the mound for now. 103rd pitch of the day is a breaking ball. Misses. That one looked like a good pitch to Evan Gruner. 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging in the second, struck out looking in the fifth. He sends it at lefty batter's box, facing the righty. Matt Ogden swinging and a miss. Comes right back with the breaking ball after missing his spot and gets an ugly swing by Evan Gruner. Levels the count at 1-1. Wolverines playing the lefty Gruner to pull pretty extensively. And now he gets plunked. So he will take his base. That breaking ball just slipped out of the hand of Matt Ogden. He'll remain on the mound for now.
Gruner with a little bit of speed on the base paths, 9 for 12 on the season. 3rd in stolen bases and 3rd in attempts. So definitely someone that Ogden should keep his eye on over there at first.
Benedetti holding with him there. He's facing Carson Weber, the sophomore right fielder for the Braves. Takes a ball low and away on the fastball from Ogden, hit 87 on the gun. Cronenworth shaded into the hole on the right side of the infield, created by Benedetti covering first. Swing and a miss there on the fastball. Evens the count at 1-1. As we've mentioned, plenty of Wolverines relief pitchers getting loose. Matt Ogden at 107 pitches. This is his 7th inning of work. Gruner just got on with a leadoff hit by pitch. The 1-1 pitch high and outside. Kendall Patrick will trot out to the mound and have a quick word with Matt Ogden.
If he loses Weber here at the plate, you'd almost have to think that's the day for Ogden.
Yeah, I think if he allows one more base runner, he's going to be pulled from this game. But I also don't know if that was a conference as much as Kendall Patrick just wanted to pick up the rosin bag and put it on his elbow. I haven't seen that maneuver before, but first time for everything here. Here's a 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. That will actually be a foul tip into the glove of the catcher as Weber was lunging out across the plate. Was just able to get a piece of it, but went harmlessly into the glove of Kendall Patrick. Gruner on first base. He's there with nobody out. Just reached with a hit by a pitch. Wolverines lead 8-1. 2-2 pitch. That one misses low. Runs the count full. Fully expect Gruner to be in motion here with his good speed and the Braves needing base runners. Ogden looking in to get the sign working from the stretch with the runner on. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runner not moving, and this one's popped up on the left side of the infield. Mazes tracks back, then Bivens calls him off and makes the catch. Once again, it's always an adventure with Jake Bivens and foul pop-ups at Jim Patterson Stadium, but he's got it done 2 out of 3 times, so he gets the out, and that's the first out of the inning. We turn over the top of the lineup as we go to Godinez.
Kevin White, with the wind blowing out of left field, is playing really far deep, so that's forced the hand of Bivens to have to go and make those plays.
Gruner remains on first base. He did not take off on the 3-2 pitch. Rather surprising, but not willing to risk the strike him out, throw him out. Now a breaking ball in for a strike. And Chris Godinez, 1 for 3 on the day, struck out looking in the first, singled to right center field in the third before a fielder's choice in the fifth. Next pitch, breaking ball misses up. Evens at 1-1. Benedetti holding with Gruner at first base.
He's thrown many more breaking balls, noticeably more, especially these last 2 innings.
Ogden comes set in the stretch. Now throw to first base. Gruner back in safely with a head first slide. As we mentioned, Gruner is a threat to steal, but hasn't been taking too much of an adventure off first base. Pretty conservative lead there. That was the first throw over from Ogden, but really not that much by Gruner. Check swing. He did not go around by Godinez. Looked like he almost did, but first base umpire Ken Langford ruled he did not go around. Mazes 1 step off that Infield grass down at third base, watching for a potential bunt here. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Next pitch lifted high in the air. Bivens tracking it again. Kevin White coming in as well. He will call off Bivens, reach behind and make the catch. Wolverines continue to have some fun out there, if that's what you want to call it, out in making these pop-up catches. And that's also the 10th flyout for the Bradley Braves. So 7 strikeouts for Matt Ogden, 10 flyouts. And if I did my math correctly, 4 groundouts. Or no, we're not through the 7th inning, so only 3 groundouts. It was close. 3 groundouts for Matt Ogden.
I don't think Coach Bakich is having too much fun in the dugout watching these fly balls.
And there's a ball is smoked past a diving Bivens, so that's a 2-out single for Isaac Smith. He was a little shaken up after making a diving play in the outfield, but he remains in the game and just lined that one just out of the reach of a diving Jake Bivens. That one got into left center field. Kevin White able to scoop it in and throw it back in quickly to prevent Gruner from moving up to third. So runners at first and second, 2 outs. Matt Ogden still remains in the game, but Kendall Patrick will go out to have a word with him. No signs from head coach Eric Bakich, and now he will wander out of that bullpen. I think the day is done for Matt Ogden. After that leadoff hit by pitch, we said any more base runners from Matt Ogden, his day would be done, and Coach Bakich makes the move for a lefty. It'll be Oliver Jaskey, as we expected. He's been warming up pretty much all game long. He'll take some long strides in from that left field bullpen and try and get the final out of the 7th inning. And you got to give it up for Matt Ogden. What a performance so far today.
Unbelievable. To a guy who wasn't even in the weekend rotation in the season, who got on a hot streak in the Big Ten tourney, to come out today and keep – this Bradley team can put up runs. Don't be fooled by the 1 run on the board. Bradley can put up runs. And to keep them at bay the entire day, got himself out of some jams. And final line for Ogden was really quite impressive. 6.2 pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 7 Ks, most of which looking.
I believe 6 out of the 7 were looking.
1 hit batter, but what a day for Ogden.
And remember, he is responsible for the runners at first and second, so it could get a little ugly depending on the inherited runners that Oliver Jaskey may or may not allow to score. So Oliver Jaskey, the lefty, comes into this game, 5.28 ERA, 2-0 on the year, 29 innings pitched, 27 hits, 21 runs, 17 of those earned, 34 strikeouts against 21 walks. Has struggled with extra base hits, giving up 12 of those, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. We haven't seen him in the postseason play so far. He pitched against Oklahoma State and did not pitch particularly well. That is a very good Cowboys team. Pitched 2 2/3, 2 hits, 3 runs, all of those earned, 4 strikeouts against 3 walks. So we haven't seen him in a bit. He's been off for more than 2 weeks and didn't pitch well his last time out, but he's called out in a big situation here. He's the top lefty in the pen, and he's going to try and get the powerful righty Spencer Gay, 1 for 3 on the day. He singled in that first inning, but since then he's hit 2 balls hard, 1 out to center field, and that was the amazing diving catch by Jackson Glines, and then also a fly out to shortstop.
Jaskey comes into a good situation, though, there are runners on base, but he came in with 2 outs. So all he's got to do is get 1 hitter here.
First pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike to Spencer Gay. Third baseman, 343 on the year. Slugging percentage at 497. Gruner at second, Smith at first. Smith just had a 2-out single to chase Ogden from the game. Swing and a miss. He was way out ahead of that breaking ball, looking for the fastball, and Jaskey's come with 2 straight breaking balls. 0-2, and now he's a little bit of time to dance and mess with Spencer Gay here, throw some junk pitches, tries to get the 3rd out of this bottom of the 7th. He delivers. 0-2 pitch. Misses low. Tried to get him to chase the fastball. Unable to do so. 1-2.
Like the move to come back with the fastball after he had Gay on his front foot with that breaking ball he threw the pitch before.
He comes set. Now delivers. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout by Oliver Jaske. The Wolverines get out of a jam. They hold on to that 8-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to the top of the 8th. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball.
What a job by Jaske to come in there and give a lot of junk to the best hitter on Bradley's team in Gay, and just he threw him a high breaking ball, which I'm surprised Gay bid at.
Yeah, really, and that's also a risky move. That's high risk, high reward. You're going for the strikeout, but if Gay gets a hold of that one, that's probably in the left field seats right now, and we're looking at an 8-4 game, but instead gets him to cut and miss, and the Wolverines have kept Gay quiet. And as we head to the top of the 8th, they're looking to add on a few more insurance runs. Alex Dottie, the first pitcher that really has looked comfortable for the Braves today. He had an easy 1-2-3 inning last inning. Only his 11th inning pitch of the year, so limited duty for the righty, but he's been definitely looked the best of the 3 Braves pitchers, and he's going to try and prevent Wolverines from completely blowing this one out of hand. You won't want to see anything like the earlier game this year when the Bradley Braves lost 30-7 to Grand Canyon. When we were scouting this team, we were stunned to see that in the listing of their schedule, and we looked it up. It in fact is true. The Bradley Braves did lose a game earlier this year, 30-7 at Grand Canyon. Not really sure exactly what happened.
I thought it was a typo at first.
I did too. It was stunning, and Grand Canyon, a good team. They did win the WAC regular season title, but fell in that conference tournaments, were unable to secure a at-large berth to the NCAA tournament. But just kind of surprising as we were scouting, and Wolverines looking to add on a few more, perhaps not 22 more. But Jake Bivens, 0-for-2 on the day, will dig in. This is his 5th plate appearance. First pitch, strike. Fastball on the outside by Alex Dottie.
Bivens has himself a walk and an RBI on the day, so not a bad day for Bivens.
0-1 pitch, fouled off into the third base bleachers. A youngster will chase after the one and grab himself a souvenir. Sparse crowds here today in the opener, as not many Michigan or Bradley fans have made the trip, but expect the stadium to fill up in the next 2 hours. 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? He did not. And the Bradley faithful are not happy with that one. It looked like he definitely did go around. I was kind of surprised with that call.
I thought he definitely went around, but the only person it mattered to was third base umpire Darren Hyman, and he didn't think so.
So perhaps Bivens gets away with one there. Makes it 1-2. Here's the delivery. Does he go around again? And he did. So same pitch, same spot, same check swing. But that time, home plate umpire, he did not. He appealed down to Hyman on the previous pitch, and Hyman said he didn't go around, and Hyman might have spaced out for that one. But this time, Mascaro makes no doubt. He just rings him up himself. Strikeout swinging by Bivens to lead off the top of the 8th. Jackson Glines 0-for-4 on the day. He takes a fastball strike on the inside half. 0-1.
Glines would really like to just – he's had some well-hit balls today, but he'd really like to find some green in the outfield with this one and maybe get rolling for Saturday's game.
Check swing, little grounder to third base, and what a play by Spencer Gay. Had to really charge on that one. Really came all the way over to where the shortstop should be, but Leffler was playing very deep, so Spencer Gay charged and picked that one up behind the pitcher's mound. Just kind of flung it over to Solk at first base, and they get the speedy Jackson Glines by about a step and a half. Nice play there by Spencer Gay. Hasn't been able to get it done at the plate so far, but a nice defensive play there, and records the player with the hallmark defensive play of the day so far. Jackson Glines with another absolutely spectacular catch out in center field. We'll see a little bit of a hole appears. I don't think Carmen Benedetti was quite ready to bat. He's going to make some adjustments there at the dugout and then get ready to dig in. He's 1-for-3 on the day, doubled in the second down the left field line, ended up coming around to score. then walked in the third.
Good job by Gay there on that last play to call off Leffler, the shortstop, because Gay had his momentum going to first base. Makes for a much easier throw to throw with your body than against it.
So Benedetti will dig in. Wolverines trying to make some noise against Alex Dottie. He's been shutting them down so far. 5 straight outs in the batters he's faced. He'll deal a strike there. Benedetti takes some time. He'll step out of that lefty batter's box, adjust his batting gloves, now dig back in. Dottie working quickly. Draws a check swing, but that one's a little low. 1-1. 8-1 lead for the Michigan Wolverines against the Bradley Braves. We're in the first game of this regional tournament. 1-1 pitch misses outside. 2-1 on Carmen Benedetti. Once again, steps out, trying to slow down the game a little bit here, or at least throw off the rhythm of Dottie, who's working quickly here. The 2-1 pitch. That one's grounded past a diving Solka at first base, and there's a single for Carmen Benedetti. He's on first base with 2 outs. Hard hit ball there. Solka almost made a nice play there, but just out of his reach. And Benedetti reaches with 2 outs.
Give him 2 hits on the day, single and a extended his team leading double mark earlier today. Give him 3 for 5 on base, drawing a walk earlier today, and now the single.
Solka holding with Benedetti, who's not a base stealing threat. First pitch to Bruder is fouled off into the screen. Bruder 2 for 3 on the day, has scored 3 runs for the Wolverines. Singled and came around to score in the second. Then a foul fly to the first baseman in the third. Walked and came around to score in the fifth, and singled and came around to score in the sixth. Active man on the base pass. And great hustle in the 6th inning as he singled and came around to score on a double by Travis Mazes. Next pitch, check swing up. That one misses. And you got to say, you got to like what the Wolverines are doing better than the Bradley Braves. Well, there has been some deception by Alex Dottie. They've checked their swings when it hasn't been close, where against Matt Ogden, Bradley Braves wouldn't even swing at all and sometimes get rung up on those called third strikes. 1-1 pitch popped high in the air, very high.
Toughest play in baseball for the catcher.
And he drops it. So a strike there, and we've seen the Wolverines have some trouble with those high pop-ups.
That's the toughest play in baseball for a fielder right there, the catcher, because of the spin of the ball that it gets coming off the bat. It'll generally bring it back a little further towards the back of towards the seats.
And you got to wonder if the wind played a factor in that one too. It's picked up in about a middling range, about 10 miles an hour. The 1-2 pitch, that one's fouled off right into the mask of Carlisle. Hope he's all right. It looks like he's fine. We get a new ball here as umpire Danny Mascaro did not like the one that Alex Dottie was dealing with. So Bivens struck out. Glines grounded out before Benedetti ripped a single past a diving first baseman Solka. He's at first base. 1-2 to Cody Bruder, looking to keep this 2-out rally alive for the Wolverines as they look to add on additional insurance runs. They lead 8-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. Bruder ready. 1-2 pitch, line right back, and that's a nice play there by Leffler. He will feel it, flip to the covering Godinez at second. They get the force on Benedetti, so a nice play there by Leffler. And after the dropped potential third out, as Carlisle was unable to corral the foul pop-up, Wolverines unable to take advantage of their second life, and they retired from the inning, but they still lead 8-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Now, Dalton's going to update you on some scores from around the country.
Around the country. Bottom of the 9th, Columbia leads East Carolina as East Carolina, the Pirates, find themselves last call, need to scratch 3 across. Top of the 8th, Iowa, Big Ten friend, leads Oregon 3-1. Top of the 6th, Indiana jumps out on Radford. They're up 4-0. Bottom 5, Louisiana, Lafayette, Raging Cajuns find themselves down to the Owls of Rice, 3-0. Stony Brook and North Carolina State Wolfpack find themselves even at a solid 0 through 5. Bottom 4, Oregon State Beavers lead the Longhorns of Texas, tied 1-1. Lehigh and LSU just starting. It's bottom 1-0-0. And we have some finals. Cal Bears ended up beating the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina 9-3. Notre Dame ended up beating Wright State in a high-scoring affair, 13-7. Florida Atlantic loses to other Florida school, South Florida, 5-3. Arkansas beat Oral Roberts 8-6. And to round out the scores this far, in 11, Charleston beats Auburn.
And a new pitcher for the Wolverines will be Jace Vancina. So we see a one-pitch outing, or not a one-pitch, excuse me, one batter outing from Oliver Jaski. And now the Wolverines will go a little bit deeper into their bullpen. This isn't one of their top guys. Jace Vancina has been fairly consistent, but he wasn't named as one of the top pitchers to be relied upon by Coach Eric Bakich in this postseason. Nonetheless, solid numbers on the year, 3.19 ERA, 2-1. 42 and a third innings pitched, 38 hits, 20 runs, 15 of those earned, 18 strikeouts against 15 walks, 11 extra base hits, 6 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. He'll face the 4-5-6 hitters, Soka, Carlisle, and Kristen here in the bottom of the 8th.
Vancina's in this appearance on the mound has just got to come out and throw strikes with a 7-run lead late in the game here.
First pitch plunks him. So that's exactly what you do not want to do. That looked terrible off of the hand. It was a 71-mile-an-hour breaking ball and just plunked Solka. So he'll take his base. He's there with nobody out as the Bradley Braves try and mount a late inning rally here. Kendall Patrick has seen enough after one pitch and will trot out and try and calm down Jace Vancina.
Not the start Coach Bakich wanted out of Vancina.
Perhaps some jitters here by the freshman. Postseason play. We didn't see any of him either in the Big Ten tournament. Did pitch 3 innings of scoreless baseball against Oklahoma State. So impressive performance to build on. But then again, he's had 2 weeks off of any game action in baseball. That was a game on the 14th against the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Next pitch misses low and outside. 1-0. Bradley Braves fans down this third base line are starting to feel a comeback maybe in the works, but they got a long way to go. They're down 7 in the bottom of the 8th. Vancina deals 1-0. That one's popped in the air. Kevin White tracking it, ranging to his right. Now drifts back 1 step to his left, and he will make the catch. So another fly ball out off these Braves bats. And the Wolverines have been able to track them down as of late after struggling in that first inning. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Vancina probably going to look to get something low and away in the strike zone. Maybe coax a double play here out of the designated hitter, Kristen. And hopefully get out of this inning quickly.
First pitch in the dirt. Nice block there by Kendall Patrick to make sure Soka stays right where he is at first base. Benedetti holding with him there. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Middle of the infield. Somewhat in double play depth, but Cronenworth is shaded towards that hole on the right side of the infield. Next pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. 2-0 on Ian Kristen. 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center in the second. Grounded out to to first base unassisted, and then walked in the 6th. 2-0 pitch misses low. 3-0. Jace Vancina does not look sharp.
No, because even when pitching to, while pitching to Carlisle, didn't look that sharp even though he got the fly ball out.
He does get a fastball in there for a strike, 3-1. Good hitters count for Ian Kristen, but perhaps he will be patient, try and draw his second walk of the day. 3-1 delivery. That one's fouled off. That's a nice pitch there by Vancina to bounce back, and after falling behind 3-0, he's right back to 3-2. Do you think Solka will take off here? There's 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. They need base runners. You can't really afford to have a double play here, but might want to try and move him to scoring position.
I don't think he does.
This one's lifted high in the air to center field. Glines tracking back. He will make the catch. So Kristen gave it a ride to deep center field. Glines makes it the catch a step in front of the warning track. That's the second out of the bottom of the 8th. bringing up Leffler, the shortstop.
Yeah, I don't think in a situation at this point that Coach Dominguez would send a runner on a hit and run type scenario, because the runner is worth more on the bases than the risk of trying to move him up, being down 7 runs here late in the game.
So Solka remains on first base. He had a leadoff hit by pitch. Vancina's been able to induce 2 fly ball outs. And he'll deal a strike here to Tyler Leffler. 0 for 3 on the day. His average has fallen to 190 on the year.
And Vancina's really just got to attack Leffler, only batting 190 on the year.
The righty against the righty. Vancina taking his time. The freshman shrugs his shoulders, now delivers. Breaking ball. Misses. Levels it at 1-1.
We've seen that one called for a strike a couple times today, though, so nothing for Vancina to be too concerned about.
Vancina comes home. That one's a little chopper off the end of the bat. Bivens unable to handle it cleanly. It'll likely be an infield base hit. Solka moves up to second. Leffler reaches. Now runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Little nubber off the bat. And Bivens unable to field it cleanly. We'll see if that's an error or if that's a hit. I believe that's got to be ruled a hit.
The way the scorekeeper's been ruling them today, I would fully expect a hit.
Up comes Gruner. 0 for 2 on the day. The lefty against the righty Vancina. Strike on the outside corner. The Bradley faithful not pleased with that call, but as we've mentioned, strike zone's been big all day. Solka on second, Leffler on first. Bivens looking to sneak in behind Solka, perhaps for a pickoff throw. 0-1 pitch. No question about that one. That one misses well outside. 1-1. 8 runs, 12 hits, 0 errors for the Wolverines. 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for the Braves. We're at Jim Patterson Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky for the first game of the regional round of the NCAA tournament. Next one is ripped foul. Gruner got a hold of that one, but was just a little bit ahead and ripped it into his own team's bullpen down the right field line.
Vancina's really got to make work of the bottom part of the lineup, because the last thing you want to do in a 8-1 game is turn it back over to the top with runners on base. You really want to just hurry up, get the win, and get out of here and get ready for tomorrow.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Big strikeout by Jace Vancina. He didn't have his best stuff today, but he gets a swing and a miss from Evan Gruner, his 3rd strikeout of the day. The first for Vancina, but the 3rd for Gruner. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. Wolverines lead 8-1 against the Bradley Braves. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. Andrew Hausman alongside Dalton Pataki. And really, the trains have slowed down here. That's only number 6, I believe.
Yup, another one coming in right now. That's 6. We set the over-under at 7.5.
I took the over.
I believe you took the over.
This is not looking good.
A lot of planes, though, recently. Must be an airport nearby. Plane count's got to be around 5.
Yeah, a beautiful day for baseball. It was partly cloudy earlier on, but it's really cleared up here. Just a little bit above 70 degrees, up to about 73 or 74. Nice day for baseball. Not a huge number of fans in attendance. Probably about 200 Wolverines fans in attendance, 200 Braves fans in attendance, and then maybe about 100 neutral fans in attendance as well. Probably about 500. This is a big ballpark, so it's a little more deceptive. Ray Fisher Stadium looks a little more full when it has 500 fans in it, but expect this stadium to be full or close to it as the Louisville Cardinals face off against Morehead State here at 6 p.m. That's coming up in just about an hour, or about an hour after the conclusion of this game. And as a reminder, the winner of that game will face the winner of this game, which looks likely to be the Michigan Wolverines at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And either way, whatever the Michigan Wolverines are doing, we will have the call for you all weekend long here at WCBN Sports, most likely at 4 p.m. tomorrow if the Wolverines are able to hang on to this 8-1 lead as we head to the top of the 9th. First pitch to Travis Mazes is a strike. Alex Dottie remains on the mound. He's looked really good in 2 innings of work, only giving up 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Has been commanding the strike zone, working quickly. Now he bounces one up to home plate right as I say that. That one barely made it 57 feet from the rubber.
That might have glanced Mazes, but after the bounce.
Yeah, we saw Kevin White reach base on one of those as he took a bounce and it hit him, but now that was not this game, but an earlier game this season. Now Travis Mazes takes a big cut on a high fastball. 1-2. Mazes 1 for 3 on the day. That was a double in the 6th. 1-2. Misses outside.
More jeers from the Bradley Braves fans. They are very upset.
2-2 delivery. Fouled off down the third baseline. We get out of play. Remains 2-2 on Travis Mazes. Travis Mazes in the 6th inning was able to drive in the Wolverines' 8th run of the day, scoring Cody Bruder from first. Good hustle by Bruder to come around to score on that double. 2-2 pitch, lifted foul, out of play down the left field line. He's just waiting for the 7th pitch of this at-bat. The lefty against the righty Dottie. Here it comes. And that is strike 3 looking. I don't know what he was waiting for that one. That would split the heart of the plate.
That one was a breaking ball that kind of stayed up in the zone, didn't break that much. And ones like that, you got to try and put into the bleachers.
Yeah, at least swing. He looked like a Bradley Brave out there, not even lifting the bat off his shoulder. I believe 6 strikeouts looking for the Braves as the first pitch by Kevin White is swung on and fouled into the screen. They'll be retrieved by the on-deck batter, Johnny Slater. The bottom 3 of this Wolverines lineup has really been the key for them here today. White 1 for 4, Slater and Patrick each 2 for 3, and they really put together some quality at-bats. Breaking ball misses way high. You could tell where that one was going right out of his hand. That was not going to be anywhere near the strike zone. He was the count at 1-1. 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Dottie delivers. That one's fouled off right towards us, but that will get off the facade at the roof. A little bit above where we're sitting. We're perched about 50 feet behind home plate, about 20 feet offset down the first base line. Next pitch is in the dirt. Carlisle lets that one skip away, but no harm done as there's no one on base with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. 2-2 on Kevin White. Here it comes. Popped in the air. Godinez underneath it, shielding his eyes from the sun. He will make the catch, so no trouble for him. We've seen trouble on both sides on these seemingly easy pop fly balls, but that time Godinez made it look easy as it should be and gets the second out here in the top of the 9th, leaving it up to Johnny Slater, who's had quite a day. 2 for 3 on the day. A run scored an RBI. RBI on that sacrifice fly in the 2nd. Then single came around to score in the 4th. Had a bunt single, a nice drag bunt in the 5th as he takes the first pitch for a strike and then grounded out to Godinez at second base his last time up in the 7th. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Turns out of the way of that one, and that one misses inside and up. 1-1.
Yeah, like you said, Johnny Slater just getting it done in all facets of the game today, making nice putouts in right field and doing work at the plate today.
That takes that one low and inside. 2-1 on Johnny Slater. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Wolverines lead 8-1. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's the Johnny Slater of old. We thought after he's been looking so good today, that's the Johnny Slater of when he was slumping very early on this year, and then after he came, he lifted his batting average back up to the 240s, but then came back down to the 210s. Now he laces one down, fair ball into the right field corner. He's digging for 2, perhaps even thinking 3, and he will put on the brakes as he heads into second. So what a standout day for Johnny Slater. 3 for 4 lines that one into the right field corner. I think he was thinking 3, but he just held up at second base. That's where he is for Kendall Patrick. Wolverines look to add one more to their tally.
As you stated earlier, Andrew, you never want to make the first and third out at third base. So maybe Johnny Slater adhering to your advice.
Perhaps he is, and with his speed, any sort of hit with 2 outs would easily score him. So he knows that, and really doesn't matter if he's at second or third. If Patrick is able to get any ball in play, then it's going to score Slater, and if not, then it'll be the last out of the inning. So perhaps a smart move there.
The way Kendall Patrick's been hitting the ball today, it's a safe bet to keep Slater at second.
And Patrick will take I believe that was a changeup strike on the outside corner. Patrick also 2 for 3 on the day, homered in the second, and doubled in the fourth before walking in the fifth and striking out in the seventh. Slater on second has a big lead there. The 0-1 pitch, that one's up. 1-1.
Seems this last inning, the batters have had a much more aggressive approach to the plate against Alex Doty. I don't know if that's Coach Bakich maybe telling them to go up there and swing the bats and maybe try to speed this game up a little bit, or if it's just their personal approach.
And that's lifted high in the air to left field. That one is back, and that is gone. Home run number 2 for Kendall Patrick. Have yourself a day, young man.
What a day at the plate for Kendall Patrick, and how smart of a move does that look now to keep Slater at second? Kendall Patrick, 2 two-run home runs today, RBI double, and a walk.
Oh, my goodness.
And it doesn't matter who he's doing it against. He's had success against every pitcher the Braves has put out there. He's seeing a beach ball out there at the plate, folks.
He is locked in, 3 for 4 on the day. That's 3 home runs in his last 5 games, 2 here today. Perhaps aided by the wind on both of them, but he'll take what he can get. That's home runs number 7 and 8 on the year. Don't always expect that your leading home run hitter is batting in that 9-hole, but indeed, that shows the lineup depth of these Wolverines. Or at the top of the order is Cronenworth takes a strike before checking his swing on a ball up in the zone, 11 the count at 1-1. Wolverines lead 10-1 here against the Bradley Braves in the opening game of this Louisville Regional. Next pitch is inside. That one looked like it could have been called a strike, but a little bit of a head fake there by Cronenworth as he leaned out of the way, makes it go 2-1. If there was any doubt of this game, Kendall Patrick just ended it. And now Cronenworth gets plunked for the second time today.
Thankfully, wearing that protective elbow guard because that's where it got him. Good foresight by Cronenworth.
Yeah, taking a page out of Kendall Patrick's playbook. Kendall Patrick, too busy hitting home runs to get hit by pitches, but Kendall Patrick known for getting hit by pitches. 15 hit by pitches on the year, but he's too busy swinging for the fences, so he doesn't even hit by pitches. I think that's going to be the end of the day for Alex Dottie. Started off so well. I just mentioned coming in this inning, pitched 2 commanding innings and really shut down this Wolverines lineup, but a rough 9th inning. He gives up 2 runs, and then once he gives the double, the home run, and then he hits Jacob Cronenworth. So that's going to be the end of the day for Doty, and the Braves will turn to one last pitcher as they try and get the last out on the defensive side of the ball. Stephen Tomo will come in, the righty senior. He's going to get ready to face Jake Bivens, still looking to get in at the hit sheet. And we will see a pinch runner coming into the game for the Wolverines. That'll be Eric Jacobson, the senior infielder, will pinch run for Jacob Cronenworth. Good move there. Jacob Cronenworth, such a valuable member of this Wolverines squad, playing both ways as both the starting second baseman and the closing pitcher. So just get him out of the game. Jacobson's a smart base runner and remove any risk of injury for Jacob Cronenworth.
Stephen Toma, a little bit of a roller coaster season. After a rough start in his debut, Toma appeared to have been effective in 13, 14 straight outings, but then has really struggled in his last 4. Those 13 outings in which he was effective only allowed 7 runs, but the past 4 outings, he's allowed 9 earned in 5 innings.
And a lot of those are against, or at least the most recent one is against Missouri State. So facing off against quality competition. And once again, Bradley was pretty well beat up by Missouri State. They were unable to get over the hump in the regular season and get any of those victories against the number 8 team in the country, and then also unable to win as they in the postseason finale of the Missouri Valley Conference as they fell 5-2 in the conference title game. But they're staring at a 10-1 deficit here, and they still need to get one more out of the Wolverines. Jacobson coming in as the pinch runner for Jacob Cronenworth. Jake Bivens 0 for 3 on the day, does have a walk and a sacrifice fly. So not a terrible day despite not getting on the hitting fun.
Thought maybe you might see Lozier out there running the bases the way he's been tracking down those foul balls.
Yeah, really, I give him a shot, but I don't think Coach Beckich wants to risk a valuable arm of his bullpen out on the base paths. First pitch is a strike. Fastball gets up to 89 on the gun. Hector Gutierrez is a pinch hitter for Jake Bivens, so he will likely come in at shortstop. So Wolverines trying to get a few more playing time, and there's a ground ball right to the second baseman, Godinez, moving towards the bag at second base. He'll step on second base and make the play unassisted, so there's the third out, but not before the Wolverines add 2 more on another home run by Kendall Patrick. They take a 10-1 lead to the bottom of the 9th.
An absolute blast. If there was a doubt that his first home run was out, there was no doubt about this one. As soon as it left the plate, from the sound, from the look, you knew it was deep.
And amazingly, that one it cleared the wall by about the same margin, but it had a little more higher trajectory to it, so it perhaps traveled more distance as it went in that parabola shape and the more towering home run, whereas first one was just a line drive. Nonetheless, both got out of here pretty quickly. That one, at least, I knew was going to be a home run, but the line drive was kind of unexpected. We will see Jace Vancina retake, or excuse me, that will not be Jace Vancina. That's going to be Cam Wysocki, who's been warming up sporadically in the Wolverines bullpen. So the 28 can look a little bit like the number 20, but it will be number 28. Cam Wysocki coming in for number 20, Jace Vancina. And probably a good move to get Vancina out of the ball game. He looked kind of shaky, and Cam Wysocki in the middle of this bullpen, not known as one of the shutdown late inning guys, but still can get you big time outs. So he'll come in. We'll get a few defensive replacements for the Wolverines. We're going to get you updated on those. Benedetti remains at first. Jacobson is in at second base. Looks like it's going to be Hector Gutierrez at shortstop. And can't tell. Doesn't look like that's Mazes at third base. No, that's not. That's Drew Lugbauer coming into the game. Number 17 for the Wolverines. And the outfield lineup will remain unchanged. White in left, Glines in center, and Slater in right. But lots of new infielders for the Wolverines in this 9th inning. Kendall Patrick remains behind the plate. Or excuse me, that'll not be Kendall Patrick. That's Harrison Wenson. He'll shake hands with Donnie Mascaro, the home plate umpire, as he comes into the game in relief of, well, you got to say the game's MVP, Kendall Patrick. You were trying to give it to Matt Ogden, but we'll have a debate about that after the game of who the MVP of this one is. Assuming the Wolverines can head on to a 10-1 lead, and a rousing applause for Carson Weber as he steps to the plate. Or excuse me, there'll be a pinch hitter as well. He will line it right to the right fielder, Johnny Slater. So pinch hitter Mike Reisner, the freshman infielder, swings on the first pitch. Very limited playing appearance for the Braves infielder, and he swings on the first pitch, lines it right to Johnny Slater. That was a hard hit ball, but just in the wrong spot. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Now Chris Godinez will come in. He's the leadoff hitter, 1 for 4 on the day.
Not having the day he wanted, with a strikeout looking, a single, and a couple of flyouts.
Next pitch checks his swing on the breaking ball away, makes the count 1-1. And Wolverines playing in more of a, not quite a no doubles look, but a little deeper than you would expect with Godinez at the plate. Godinez does have some pop in that bat with a slugging percentage at 5-14. Hasn't really shown it much here today. He takes a breaking ball for a strike to make it 1-2. Wysocki comes set. The 1-2 pitch lined right back up the middle for a base hit. Just a good piece of hitting there from Chris Godinez. He's on base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th.
Took an inside fastball, got his hands through quickly, and sent it right back up the middle. Great piece of hitting for all the youngsters out at the ballpark to witness.
Yeah, not a whole lot of those in attendance, but if they are here and still paying attention in the 9th inning of a 10-1 game, get to witness some textbook hitting right there. Now Isaac Smith comes to the plate, 2 for 4 in the day. He lines that one into the right field corner. Slater giving chase. Godinez rounding second. He will round third, and he'll come in to score. Bidding for a triple, and he is out. What a relay throw there. Wolverines are able to try to get out the greedy Isaac Smith. He was trying to go for 3. He makes the second out of the inning at third. He does not get a run with the RBI double. Godinez hustle all around all the way from first base to score, but Slater made a nice throw in, and then a great relay throw there by the Wolverines, able to get Smith at third. And that's the second out, and if there was any chance of a rally there, it was Smith really should have just hung up at second. We saw Slater make the right base running decision in the top of this inning and just held up at second, didn't risk being thrown out at third. Smith does not do the same, gets a little too greedy, goes for the triple. And there's a line drive right at Drew Lugbauer off his glove. I believe that'll be an error. Spencer Gay able to reach. Lugbauer, as we mentioned, the new third baseman. That really should have been the third out of the inning, but that will be ruled an error. The Wolverines' first error of the day.
Back to the put out at third base. That was a really bad move by Smith there to try and take it, because the base runner is much more valuable than potentially moving a guy up to third, because a single with Smith's speed would have scored him anyway.
And the first pitch to Paul Soka, the first baseman, is outside, 1-0. So Gay's on first base. He just reached on an error. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Wolverines lead 10-2. Foul ball into the over the first base seats. 1-1 on Paul Soka, 0 for 2 on the day.
Credit Cam Wysocki early. He's just feeding a steady diet of strikes into these Bradley batters, just trying to get outs.
1-1 pitch. That's one's laced in center field, and Glein's going to have to pay that on a hop. So the 9th inning continues here for the Wolverines. Another hard hit ball off the bat of Paul Soka. And there's now runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Braves aren't dying quickly. They showed very little fight in the first 8 innings of this game, but they've been teeing up Cam Wysocki, perhaps throwing just a few too many strikes. They've had pitches to hit here. Wolverines just trying to get one more out and head into the winner's bracket of this Louisville Regional. Gay's on second, Soka's on first. First pitch to Drew Carlisle is a ball, 1-0. Breaking ball misses low and outside. Wysocki's breaking ball has not looked good, and then he's had to come back with that fastball that's been getting knocked around by these Braves batters. He comes set and delivers. That one's lifted high in the air to left field. Going back is White. That one's at the fence, and that is gone. Wow, we suddenly have a 10-5 ball game. Home run there by Drew Carlisle. Cam Wysocki's getting rocked, and he's got to get out of this game.
If I was Coach Bakich, yeah, he's getting rocked. I don't know. Right now we see number 14.
That's me, Donnie Eaton headed back out there.
Donnie Eaton heading back out there. Still up 5, only need 1 out. I would hate to see Bakich burn through some more pitching here. It's still 10-5, but he's the coach.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He's getting Eaton warmed up, and I think if he allows one more base runner, he's going to be pulled from this game. But as of right now, they're going to try and get Ian Kristen, who takes a big cut and a miss. He just saw Carlisle go for the fences, and his eyes popped on that fastball, but just swung and missed on that one. 0-1 pitch. Strike there, and the Braves are down to their last strike. They've mounted a ninth inning rally here. They've scored 4 runs, but will it be enough? A fastball misses way outside. 0-2 pitch well high and outside, draws Wenson, the new catcher, out of his crouch.
Wysocki bringing the heat. That fastball clocked at 94.
1-2 pitch. Comes back with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, but pretty much the same spot. Well high and outside, 2-2. Braves down to their final strike here. Wolverines trying to pick up a opening round win. 2-2 pitch. Again. Comes back with a fastball, 94, 93, 92, and they've all been well outside.
Cam Wysocki's just got to take a deep breath here and deliver a strike and hope his defense can make a play behind him.
Yeah, he was looking for the strikeout swing to end the game, but he should know that this is probably his last batter he's going to be facing either way. Either gets Kristen for the last out of the game or he's going to be sitting on the bench. 3-2 pitch, popped in the air. Will it stay playable? It's in foul territory. Lugbauer drifts over. He will make the catch. So that is the final out. The Braves mount a ninth inning rally, put up 4 runs, but it'll not be enough. The Wolverines take the opener here, 10-5. They move into the winner's bracket. They'll face off against the winner of Louisville versus Morehead State at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So Wolverines with an impressive performance here, a little damper by their ninth inning shakeup, but nonetheless able to get the win here. And what stands out to you?
Stands out to me was the ability for the Michigan Wolverines to just stay hot from their break from the Big Ten tournament, and just when they get runners on base, they really can frustrate the pitchers with some of their speed, and they just know how to pile on runs. They can smell the blood in the water, and you got to like that out of a team.
So final lines: Wolverines 10 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. Bradley Braves 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. So the Wolverines, as I mentioned, will move into the winner's bracket, face off at 4 against the Louisville Morehead State winner. Well, Bradley will face off at noon against the Louisville Morehead State winner, which in all likelihood will be, loser, which in all likelihood will be Morehead State, as Louisville is a national powerhouse. But that's why they play the game. They're still going to play it. They'll be coming up in about 40 minutes from now. They'll get the field patched up. Louisville and Morehead State will warm up. So who's going to be your player of the game for this one?
I know how much you want to give player of the game to Patrick, but I got to give it to Matt Ogden. Picking up the win. His line looks like 6.2, 5 hits, 1 earned, 7 Ks to 2 walks. He was able to keep the Braves at bay while the game was still close. And I just think he gave the Wolverines the best chance to win.
Well, I'm going to go with Kendall Patrick. Also, being a former catcher myself, you got to love it when the catcher gets in the offensive fun. Hitting from the 9 spot, but came into this game tied for the team lead in home runs after he homered against Iowa in that Big Ten tournament. Hits 2 today, 3 for 4 on the day, 2 home runs, and a double, 5 RBIs. So as many RBIs for Kendall Patrick as the entire Bradley Braves lineup. And won a line drive home run the left field that really set the tone for the Wolverines, gave them a 4-1 lead, 4-1 lead, in the second inning. And before the Braves even knew it, their best pitcher, that being Elliot Ashbeck, was getting knocked around, and it was never quite the same. And then really the icing on the cake for the Wolverines, and those ended up being a little more important, as the Braves could have closed within 3, as it would have been 8-5. But after that 9th inning home run by Kendall Patrick, really no doubt. So my player of the day goes to Kendall Patrick. Dalton Ops for Matt Ogden, both equally impressive. And you got to be disappointed that Johnny Slater doesn't get any love. I mean, 3 for 4 in the day, a double and an RBI, and an excellent drag bunt. And that's not even mentioning the superb defensive play of Jackson Glines. Perhaps the best play I've ever seen live, especially at a college level, maybe at any level of baseball. That was an amazing diving catch out there in center field. So great all-around performance by the Wolverines. A little bit of shakeup. They had that error in the 9th that ended up allowing the unearned runs on the home run. So that was with their backups. They haven't shown the depth all year, but the Wolverines able to get the job done, get this opening round win with Matt Ogden, not even one of their normal starting rotation. We expect to see, obviously depending on what happens in this game, but if the Wolverines face against the Louisville Cardinals, expect to see number 1 starter Brett Adcock tomorrow. We'll be right back at it. Any final thoughts, Dalton?
Final thoughts. I'd like to give a lot of credit to Coach Bakich for putting his faith in Matt Ogden, a guy who, like you said, wasn't in the weekend rotation. And they go out, get a big win, and now they're backloaded on pitching, which as a coach, you just got to love. And they've set themselves up well to maybe get onto the Super Regional.
Yeah, can't get ahead of themselves here, but they've done their job so far. They get the win in the opener here Friday. They're going to face off against the winner of the upcoming Louisville and Morehead State game. That's going to be at 4 p.m. tomorrow. We'll have the call here on WCBN Sports. Thanks for tuning in. That's going to do it for our coverage tonight. We'll send you off with a good night and go blue.